Now?
Hello, DMlings, and what we're tentatively calling the After Dark Army. What is going on, everybody? Hey guys, what's up?
Rainy, I have a quick
Army's
question.
ambitious, right? It's the After Dark like platoon right now.
Yeah.
What is this? What is this?
Well, I didn't go like this, so
So you just went out.
yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Like we just said, I don't know anything. Especially
We're
the
all
game
here.
we're gonna play.
It's
No.
fine.
How's everybody's last few weeks been? Pretending we didn't just record a podcast the other day.
Good,
Yeah, I
man.
haven't
Good.
seen you guys in so long.
Yeah, like a
We haven't
whole-
talked about games in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, we don't have a group chat that's constantly running.
Yeah.
Sorry about
Hey,
that,
to be
guys.
fair, only 3 out of 6 of us.
I was just
actively
gonna say it's
participate.
really only half of us that are like on.
And it's like B-rated memes because all the A-rated memes go to our after dark.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one
half
can
the
never,
group-
definitely never get out.
It's half the group and about a tenth of the brain cells. Is the entire group chat is how
That's
that
true.
works.
There are no signs of life.
No signs of intelligent life anyway.
Yes. But are you guys excited to play some Avatar Legends, some PBTA?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm the big PBTA nerd, and I know that you guys have dipped your toes in, at the very least, with Amber's Bluebeard's game.
It's an excellent storytelling system.
Yeah, the system itself is incredible. I mean, just starting with Apocalypse World and everything everyone's done to build on top of it.
Oh,
Go ahead.
real quick, I got some feedback from one of our viewers.
Oh no,
and
not live, not live.
On live, I know.
No, hey, it was good. It was a constructive critique, but he said that it would be great if we just did like a quick, like 1 minute, hey, for everybody that's not familiar with our previous episodes or with this particular like Powered by the Apocalypse setting. Here is the rundown. This is what you roll. This is when you do it. This is good. This is bad. Because he said he felt like without that, he was missing out on some of the roll factor, like the shock of the roll, right? Yeah, like, oh, you rolled a 9 and everybody's like, ooh, and then he's like, I don't know if this is good or bad. Like,
I
so,
should've
We
done a
don't know
better
that
job
either
of
right
that.
now. Yeah.
Well, I could do that very
Sure.
easily with Powered by the Apocalypse. Kids on Bikes was a little more difficult because it is a very nebulous system rules-wise. You have a dice array, and I'm just supposed to arbitrarily pick a number and be like, it's that hard.
That's
you know what
good
I mean?
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, but I love that. And you guys, Troy, thank you for literally just throwing me a softball there because you know me, I love talking game mechanics.
yes,
So,
this is true.
So yeah, we'll before we dive back into Avatar Legends and reference our session 0 that we had with our character creation and get Amber caught up to speed and worked into this group with her character. That's a great idea, Troy. I will talk for a moment about this Powered by the Apocalypse system. This it is kind of a what would you use? There's a word for it that I'm looking at. It's not a
Rules
mechanic.
light.
Yeah, it's a rules light. I wouldn't call it a mechanic. It's like a tool set, basically.
Engine.
Yeah, it is an engine. That's
Engine,
exactly what I was looking for.
Engine's probably the best term. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is a very simple rules light narrative first kind of resolution mechanic. So no matter what, when you listen to us play this game, whenever I ask anybody to roll anything in this game, it is simply going to be 2 6-sided dice. So like you're playing Monopoly, you just roll 2 6-sided dice, and there are 3 types of outcomes. If the total of your dice roll adds up to 6 or less, that is a miss. That is a failure, and I get to really complicate the scene.
You biffed it. You're fucked.
Yeah, you done goofed, and it's gonna get bad. I get to then make a GM move. A real cool thing about Powered by the Apocalypse games is I, as GM, will never roll dice in this game. Never. I just get to respond to the failures of my players and kick them when they're down. One of the other options is you roll between a 7 and a 9, and with 2 6-sided dice, 7 is the mathematical average. So this is a really elegant way of designing this game where from that 7 to 9 range, it is a success, but it comes with a cost. It is some systems call it a mixed success, some call it success with complication, whatever you want to call it. I mostly call it a mixed success because you get what you want, what you set out to do, your character will say, hey, I want to do this. I will say you do that, but something else happens. It gets a little more, a little more complicated.
Not without making sacrifices.
Exactly. But yeah, not without making a sacrifice, or not without complication in the scene. And then the last option is you roll a 10 plus. Anytime you roll a 10 plus on your 2 6-sided die, you succeed without complication. It is an unmitigated success. You just tell me what happens next. And the way that Powered by the Apocalypse works is there are stats. So it's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, a game that, you have a modifier, most likely. You can, in this, we're pretty much only working with like up to a +2, which is a pretty big deal when you're rolling 2 6-sided die. I mean, like that's.
Thank you, Amber.
Yes, look at that. The four stats in Avatar Legends are creativity, focus, harmony, and passion. So those are your 4 stats. So you do get to add your modifier. And the way that this works is, again, to compare it to a game everyone's familiar with, which is Dungeons and Dragons, think of it like skills, except in Powered by the Apocalypse, there are things called moves. We're pretty much just going to be talking. Unlike D&D, it wouldn't be someone saying like, I want to climb that. What do I have to make an athletics check? It would be more like, I'm climbing this thing and I'm using my earthbending to make handholds in this wall. I would say, oh, that sounds like you're relying on your skills and training, which is a move. All moves are kind of prompted by the fiction. Thank you again, Amber.
This is all backwards on the camera, isn't it?
No,
Probably,
no, I think
no, actually, it's
No, it is not.
Just here,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, so the way that Powered by the Apocalypse games work is we're just pretty much having a conversation. I say like, this is the scene, this is what's happening, what does your character do? And for the most part, you're not ever going to say, I want to assess the situation. You're going to say like, I want to like take a look around and see like, is there something I'm missing here? And I'll say, that sounds like you're triggering this move, please roll for it. And then there are, the mix success or success without complication, unmitigated successes. So that's how this game's going to work. Just know that if you hear 6 or less, 7 to 9, okay, and then 10 plus, oh dang, they killed it.
Nailed it.
that was
And I will
There
say,
will not be a lot of those.
and I will say this: there is one of the moves is help. There is a help action. So that is a thing. I believe in the rules, only one person can offer to help. Let's see.
Oh, this is someone offering to help someone else, not a call for help.
Yes.
Okay.
So it says here, multiple PCs can help on the same role as long as they have their own way of helping. So in this, basically, to help a companion, you can mark 1 fatigue because it represents you exerting yourself to do this, right? And we've talked about how fatigue in this is like a short track before you start racking up conditions, which are the things that penalize your rolls. To help a companion, mark 1 fatigue to give them a +1 on their roll. But you do need to explain, how you're helping, and that could make the difference between a failure of a 6 and a mixed success of a 7, or a mixed success of a 9 into an unmitigated success of a 10. That said, and if we get into a fight tonight, you cannot help in combat. So everyone's too busy doing their own thing.
Ooh.
Negotiating,
Yes, you
bargaining,
have tag
pleading.
team, which is kind of like sneak attack.
Yes, and we will talk about that in a moment as we catch everyone up about the characters we made last time on our session 0, and talk about the pilot that we cooperatively came up with and kind of set the scene for what our short little series here is going to be about. So let's go around, and we're going to do Amber last because she is the newbie that wasn't in the session 0, so that way we get to see everyone. And
I was
then
busy in Montreal being a super nerd with a bunch of fantasy sci-fi writers.
Woo!
Excuse me.
Yeah. So who wants to go first and remind everybody about your character?
Sarah.
I was just going to say my eyes fell on Sarah's camera.
It's because I'm in the middle of the screen.
You're on the edge for me.
Oh, well then heck. Okay, sure. You guys do not get the accent yet, so
Ooh.
I am playing
Damn.
Rue. She is a waterbender from the Foggy Swamp tribe. So she's a little bit of a hillbilly, but she means so well. She is the icon, which, Brady, how do I describe that? She's sort of like, how do you describe the icon?
The icon. Yeah,
Like
I mean,
ancient traditions, like you're like a
not a leader, but like
Yeah,
like the person that goes out and is kind of embodying the traditions of the group.
Yeah, again, like I used this during the session 0. To any Final Fantasy fans, like Yuna from Final Fantasy X strikes me as a very much of an icon, right? Like she is somebody representing her traditions, her culture, and is kind of the person everyone looks to in that culture to be like, that is what we aspire to. You know what I mean? Like she becomes a summoner. This is a Final Fantasy thing, but you know what I mean?
So good.
The icon is kind of that, you know what I mean? Like they're a personification of their culture in a very good way. Which is why your balance track is between your role and your freedom.
Your role and your freedom, yep. So she's just a big sweetheart with a pet moosepotamus called Chumby.
Yes.
Love
but
that so much.
Once again, you did say that you are a foggy swamp tribe waterbender,
Yes.
correct? Like, so everyone knows this isn't your Katara and your UAs. This is
She's-
leaf hat wearing.
She's not a cool waterbender.
The swamp people are awesome.
Yeah, they
You
are.
belong to the Foggy
Okay.
Bottom boys.
She's not a sleek waterbender. She's a swamp kid. She's barefoot running around in the mud.
Grew up with the alabadgers and all that stuff in the swamp.
Exactly. The weirder
Cat
the
gators.
better. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we have our swamp waterbender icon in Rue.
Swamp icon.
The swamp icon. Who else do we got?
I can go next.
All right.
I am from the Fire Nation. My name is Che Zen. I come from a lineage of soldier Fire Nations. And I think this part is actually new. I was hoping that my lineage would be kind of engineers and mechanics for who kind of built like the storm, not the storm ships, like the ships and like the, what are those things called? Like the fire cars that like,
Oh yeah, they
everything over just the industry, right?
yeah,
Like,
they
the
had a lot of
industrialized things.
like tank kind of
Tanks.
thing.
Tanks,
military
that's the
engineering.
word I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of. Yes, I come from a lineage. I'm like, what are those things? Tanks, yes.
Mobiles.
Mobiles, yes. And I am a successor, which is just kind of both kind of carrying on the traditions of my lineage, but also kind of fighting away from whatever expectations my lineage holds for me.
Jess, I'll say, because I just looked at the Tainted Past feature of the successor here, and I see what you mean. Like they say, choose one of these domains. That's like where your lineage powers come from. I'm totally fine with your like just adding a little bubble there and it being, you know, like
Yeah, well, so there's lineage resources too. So I was thinking like either military command, high society, and then there's high technology for resources.
yeah, like that could exactly be it, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe, yeah. So your father was high up in the military command
Or my
of,
mother.
or your mother, right?
Or both. Could
Or
be
both.
dual
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Um,
The child of two military parents. Rough.
But yeah, so we could do that, and then that way, like, yeah, they were kind of at the forefront of the military technology that made the Fire Nation such a terrifying thing for the last 100 years. Cool. Well, and that makes sense for your character too, right? Because one of your moves that you chose from the successor playbook allowed you to choose an additional training. So you are not only a firebender, you are also a technological character.
Yes.
And we decided that you wield a what now?
A bazooka?
A firebending.
How
The
long
rocket launcher.
after fucking? How long after Aang is this? Do they have
It's only 10 years. Maybe
Yeah.
I have the first bazooka. Who knows?
You have a prototype basically.
Oh
it-
no! Oh,
yeah.
you mean that thing's not fully vetted? What are you doing?
It is
Like sometimes it explodes out the front, sometimes the back.
sometimes right in the middle. But yeah, it like hyper focuses and makes you like a sharpshooter with your.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I know we decided that I was gonna be a sharpshooter, which is very interesting with a bazooka.
Bazooka's not. Yeah, that's just you're a sharpshooter, but you're fat at it, so it also prays, right?
Well, you know what?
She's a sharpshooter, but just at very large targets.
She's a sharpshooter, but she's
It's like,
also
I'm
a
going to take out that
firebender, like
building.
You're like, I can hit a 50 square yard target
Yeah.
at 200.
You got
feet.
a barn, I'll take it down.
Puts blindfold on, starts spinning in circles.
She hits her target. She just
I was gonna
also
say,
hits other
every time.
things.
Yeah. Yeah, technically, she's never missed.
Love it. Yep, that's Che Zen.
I love it. And actually, real quick before we move on to the next person, this is the thing we skipped last time, is we wanted to talk about the big feature of the character. So we just talked about your tainted past, right? You come from that military family with a lineage of being aggressors in what just ended 100-year war. So, you are stuck between that tradition of being aggressive and kind of,
Building dangerous shit.
yeah, against, progress for something like Cranefish Town, which will eventually become Republic City, and
supporting imperialism.
Yeah, coordinated, cooperative society. Let's go back real quick to Rue. What is the icon's big feature there?
And I believe this is the one right under the fatigue track.
Yes, correct.
So her thing is burden and tradition. And so she's trying to live up to kind of deciding between living up to her role and the expectations versus being herself and kind of discovering that. And so part of it is they give lists and examples of 3 responsibilities of the burden and tradition that she is expected to assume, which actually did. So her main responsibilities are guarding nature from corruption, providing aid to the downtrodden, and performing ceremonies and rituals.
Oh.
And the 3 prohibitions of her burden and tradition are never refuse an honest request for help, never betray someone's trust, and never start a fight.
Oh my gosh.
No.
You play on hard mode.
I mean, you'll get along with Troy's character.
Yep.
She gets along with everyone. They probably just don't like her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. Well, and then this is all going to come, full circle when we do the connections part of this. Because, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that you and Troy's character will probably have some form of connection with one another as, like, the nice people.
The chill people, yeah.
Yeah, the nice people of this group. Okay, cool. So yeah, you have those 3 responsibilities and 3 prohibitions. Like, you can't turn down anyone in help. That is just in who you have been trained to become.
An honest request for help.
Does it shift your balance if you fail to uphold one of those or commit one of the taboos?
It says here.
Yes. So if I directly and openly break a prohibition, I mark a condition and shift towards freedom.
Twice. Shift your balance
shift twice. Towards freedom. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and like the funny thing is, like, see, I love that. We've gushed about Magpie's design of this game already, and this is the quick start version, but like codifying a rule to literally explore your character's duality, like the, torn between your role as an icon and your freedom, being who you want to be. And like, there's that center where you can pull off your moment of balance, but like, there's nothing to say that like, this character might just end up being like, I abandoned this. You know what I mean? Like if it's in the cards for that person, we just start shifting their balance more. You know what I mean? They want to be they want to break down the tradition.
They grow over time.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to go next? We got a Firebender. So
I'll go next because I think Troy's asleep. So,
Bastard.
Troy's back is broken, decrepit.
Yeah, Troy hurt his back, so we make fun of Christian for being the old guy. But
Troy has the back Christian should have.
That's great. Mark that down, Sarah. It's like the portrait of Dorian Gray, but it's just everything that I should have, I just shift onto Troy.
I thought the reference you were going to make about the portrait of Dorian Gray was going to be about all those pictures he took for the fireman calendar just slowly seep away himself.
Or it's the opposite. He looks good in the picture, but his actual body is just falling apart.
Yeah, on the inside, he's desiccated.
It's that meme of Homer where everything's just like pulled back.
Yeah, he just uses the paper clips to like clip everything back. Nice. Real nice.
Hey, Troy, real quick, nice picture. Tie your shoe. What?
Oh God! Crack. So I am playing pretty much the opposite of what Sarah was playing, in which she's a nice
Pretty
person.
much.
I'm playing an
man.
asshole.
As you do.
As I usually do. But I'm very excited about this asshole. I'm playing Ai Sen-Sing. He has a hammer and an earthbender. The hammer makes him basically someone who solves his problems with aggression and anger. He's got a lot of aggression and anger. He's an earthbender. He grew up in the earthbending nation. I don't think we ever decided what city, but probably by Sing Se. What is the
Probably
big one
Ba
with the
Sing
B? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
And
Ba Sing Se.
that one.
Awesome.
And his parents were part of what was the secret police again, Rainey?
Dai Li.
And he benefited very much from that corruption and had a lot of privilege. And he's really, really unhappy that that's over. And he's really, really unhappy that these people are, kind of moving into what he looks at as his country to set this stupid city
God.
up where everybody's going to feel good and love each other. And he just cannot stand that. So he's here. He's in town for a couple of reasons. One is to learn a new sort of earthbending because he's got to make something out of himself now that his family's been wiped out of their privilege. And the second part is he's got part of his big thing here, bringing them down is what the hammer has.
Mm-hmm.
So he has an enemy, an adversary, Gang Pei Bo, who he wants to discredit. But the thing about Gang Pei Bo is he's actually not a bad guy. So he's more
I love
like
that you made this. It was
I
like,
twist-
Christian,
I
who's your
twist
adversary? A good guy.
He's a good guy.
Nice.
He's like
Good.
commission.
That's
He's
great.
like commission. Think of like a Commissioner Gordon sort of guy. He's actually an honest cop, and he's the one who exposed a lot of the corruption that my family was guilty of. So I want to just do the same thing to him and discredit him. So that's why I'm here.
You are such a dick, dude. Not
I
you,
am.
your character.
I love it.
No, I play what I
Say that
know.
about Christian,
I'm a
too.
dick too. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so funny. I don't know how we're gonna turn this person into a hero, but hey, who knows? All right, and then who do we got next? We got Troy because we're gonna do
Yeah.
Amber last. So
Yep. Cool. So I am playing Urulo Cho. My character is also from the Fire Nation. He's not a bender though. He is a soldier. He's a swordsman, which is interesting, right? Because you think the Fire Nation, they have all these giant tanks and airships and shit like that. And he's just like, nope, I got my sword.
well, Zuko was
Is that a meme for that?
yeah, well he was a secret, what was it, the blue devil
You
or
know
something
which
like
one?
that. In the show there was a
Warhammer.
known kind of pain in the butt to the Fire Nation, and it was actually Zuko with the mask on, and he used 2 scimitars. So
Yeah.
it is within Fire Nation, lore to use
Oh
swords.
yeah, for sure. And I
Are we,
think
are we
the,
10 years after the war right now? Is that what we're
Roughly,
doing?
yeah, I think so.
Okay, so a lot
Was
of the technology and stuff in Legend of Korra is either very early or has not been conceived yet.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the Sato Mobile is not a thing yet. I definitely made that decision. No
So swords
cars.
are still probably fairly common melee weapons and bows and stuff.
so I got some of my inspiration for my character from the swordsmaster that fought Zuko that one time, and I think he
Mhm.
was a member of the White Rose.
White Lotus, yeah.
Or the White Lotus. I'm sorry, the White Lotus. Yeah, so I got some inspiration from him. Obviously, my character's not that legendary and badass, but whatever.
Yet.
We can dream. We can dream. So my character is also an idealist. That is my playbook. I will read you a little bit on that.
Yes, your main feature is one called Never Turn My Back.
Yes, never turn my back. So I had to pick 3 things from this. It says, you've seen sadness and grief. You're you're no stranger to loss and pain, but you know the world can be a better place, and nothing happens without good people fighting for what's right. The 3 codes that I have chosen are never leave a friend behind, always stand up to bullies, and never strike the first blow.
Very
Which is an interesting dichotomy for a soldier.
And also a
Um,
Fire Nation soldier, because firebending Fire Nation is a very aggressive kind of culture.
Right.
Even firebending, there's no defense of anything. It's just very aggressive. But it makes sense because you learned from an Earth Nation, an Earth Kingdom person, and earthbending and the Earth military is all about waiting for the perfect moment to strike. So it represents that growth in you, that change.
Right. And a real quick, just a backstory on my character. My character, as many of our characters are conflicted between a dichotomy, right? And for my character, it is who I once was, which is this soldier, this fighter, this warrior, this person who was, aggressive and had anger and all this stuff. And I was since basically betrayed by my group, my squadron in the military, and I was taken captive, and I was a prisoner in a Earth Kingdom in the middle of a desert. And one of the people that was responsible for, watching me essentially over time, over my imprisonment, got to know me and grew kind of either he pitied me or he became compassionate for me or whatever it was. But they faked my death and he let me escape at a great risk to himself. And after I did that, I basically, my character recognizing the great sacrifice that this person made for me so that I could live, I made a vow of pacifism. So I still have a sword. I still am a soldier and a warrior, but I have vowed to never use my weapon. Because I've seen what like hurt and anger and hatred can do to the world and to people. And I think I truly believe deep down inside that there is a better way. So that is the dichotomy of my character.
Jess's character would disagree with you.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm like, how much of a pacifist are you? Would you like hit a tree? Is it just like people?
Would you chop up fruit?
Animals? Yeah, would you chop up fruit?
Yeah,
like,
I would say I probably have I'd probably try to maintain a very calm and helpful demeanor in every aspect of my life. So like, yes, I would obviously cut fruit and stuff like that to eat.
But not
I would,
really. It's not like
Right
up in
to
here.
this pizza. I can go in his
yeah,
mouth.
I don't think I have an aversion to like cutting wheat for food or like, cotton for clothing or anything like that. It's more like people and animals, like things that hurt people. But like, I also wouldn't like just chop a bunch of trees down for no reason. Like,
I see.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, because you don't want to piss off Rue.
Oh.
Oh, well,
Jesus
Amber, now that
Christ.
you've gotten a
Hey.
rundown of everybody else's character and what they brainstormed up last time, how do you think your character fits into this? And can you tell us about your character?
Yeah, so I am playing Aerie. I am from the Fire Nation also. I am not a bender. Both of my parents were soldiers in the last war. My mother is a war hero. She became a war hero by dying in the last war.
Oh, gosh.
My father is permanently disabled from the last war. He lost limbs. And after that happened, and he was no longer of use or able to continue to fight, the Fire Nation and the government basically forgot about him. So we quickly descended into poverty, and it was up to me to provide for my father and myself at a young age on the mean streets of an industrious city. So I got to being very scrappy and cunning and mean in some ways. I had to live by my wits in a quick, hard world. I have come to Imperial City because the budding Republic City. Yeah, Republic City. Because it's new and there's a new idea for how things are going to work here, and I want to get in on the ground level so I can ride the rope up. I'm determined to climb far above my station. I will step on people that get in my way, and I take particular joy in sticking it to the wealthy and privileged, and do my best to help out and provide for the little guy. Kind of a more criminally minded Robin Hood type character.
So mechanically, let's go through quick character creation stuff for you, just so that way we can do it on stream and everyone can watch the process really quick again.
Yes.
The way that we do that is you're going to then now, going back to this part, choose your training. So you said you're not a bender. Are you a martial character, like a weapons
Martial.
user? Yes. Okay, so what is your fighting style? And this is purely flavor. Like, what is it that you do that makes you an effective fighter?
I am a knife fighter. I use 2 daggers.
Cool. All right.
Scrappy. I will cut you.
So you could choose up to 2 backgrounds. You already said that you grew up in a military family. Did you choose that one?
I chose the outlaw background. I was very young when we sort of fell from that position, and quickly fell in with, like the street urchins, stealing, scrapping, running errands for shady characters, whatever it takes to put bread on the table.
That makes sense too, because you're probably in your early 20s or something in this. So yeah, so you'd have been like 10, 11 by the time you were like, I need to go get stuff. So yeah,
probably a little younger. They died and my dad became disabled before the end of the war. Actually, there's still a couple years of fighting left, and we were just totally discarded and forgotten about during the height of it.
Okay, so you took the Outlaw background. That's awesome. Next up was just Demeanors, and this is just a thing that's in a lot of games just to kind of describe your character's physical appearance. You can bring that up, or if you want, if you picked any.
Yes, she's a slim, fair-skinned young woman.
Mhm.
She has dark hair. She often keeps it tied back in a ponytail so it doesn't get in the way. Her kind of most striking feature, and she doesn't really take any pains to cover it up, is she has like Lichtenberg scars from lightning across her chest and down one of her arms all the way to the palm of her hand. And she tells anybody who asks her to listen that is from the time she caught lightning.
That's awesome. Oh, we have not brought this up yet. What playbook are you playing?
I'm playing the Bold.
The Bold, yes. And so let's talk about the Bold's feature, which is Legacy of Excellence.
Yes, I love this feature actually because it's really flexible. So basically, with Legacy of Excellence, I have a huge laundry list of tasks or things to accomplish that build my legacy as kind of like this big bold hero. And I always have 4 that are in play. And when I accomplish them, whenever I accomplish one, I can mark off a growth or clear a condition in game.
Yeah, that's actually crazy because that's one of like the fastest ways to level up. Everyone else has to wait till end of session to mark advancements, but you as a Bold can like really make yourself more powerful, get more moves and stuff by just achieving these personal
goes
goals.
right in line with my vaulting ambition.
Yeah, exactly. It's great.
And the Legacy of Excellence actually, when you complete all of the items in your Legacy of Excellence, you either retire your character or you choose a new playbook.
Yeah. So what 4 did you pick to have in here? Because I can actually,
Yes.
if it comes up, I can be like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to offer this. You know what I mean? So
I picked Kiss Someone Dangerous,
oh, that's awesome.
Punch Somebody You Probably Shouldn't Punch,
Oh no.
Pull Off a Ridiculous Stunt, and Stand Up to Someone Who Doesn't Respect You.
Yes. Awesome.
So I'm looking for a
Those
fight.
are all so Avatar-y. Those are so good.
Kissing or punching.
Yeah.
Both.
Do you know what I like?
Both?
Without
Yes, or both. There's no reason I can't hit 2 of those at once.
Fight, kiss, kiss, kiss.
my notes for that to be quick hand was just kiss danger, punch danger. So very good. Listen, if that's not how you're approaching your life, I don't know what you're doing. Awesome. And then so you get to pick real quick, you get to add +1 to one of your stats, and you can see in the tiny little brackets next to it what they start at. What did you end up doing with your +1?
I had +1 to my passion, which was -1, so I'm at a net 0.
Oh, you're the only one to offset your negative.
I figured like with the way her personality is, like she is fairly passionate, so I have to bump that.
That's awesome. So you have +1 creativity, +1 focus, 0 harmony, 0 passion.
Yep.
And then what 2 moves did you choose from the Bold's playbook?
I chose Here's the Plan. When I work out a plan with someone, I roll creativity. On an unmitigated success, I have 3. On a partial success, I have 2. And then I can spend those during the execution of the plan to aid someone, giving them a +1, call out warning or a command to them to reduce their fatigue by 1, or rally someone with invigorating words to negate a condition they would otherwise suffer.
Wow, that's
So,
really good.
Listen to me. I'm going places.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And that's again to Troy's point, hold is a very popular thing in Powered by the Apocalypse games. Basically, it is a 1-for-1 meta currency that allows you to do certain things based on the move that you're rolling. So like Amber said, she's got a plan with one of her allies. It allows her to either help them succeed, help them not get hurt as bad as they might have, or avoid taking a condition, which are kind of the bigger penalties of this system.
Just you wait. I'm going to run this town.
and then what was the other one that you?
The other one I chose was Straight Shooter. When I tell an NPC the blunt, honest truth about what I think of them and their plans, I roll focus. On a hit, they look up to my honesty with favor, and they'll answer a non-compromising question or grant me a favor. On a 7 to 8, they return the favor and give me an honest assessment of myself, and I mark a condition. On a miss, I'm a bit too blunt, and they're either just furious or genuinely hurt.
Oh my goodness, that's great. Very cool. All right, yeah, so everyone has access to the basic moves, but again, just kind of catching everyone up. Each playbook has special moves. So here's the plan is a bold only move, because that is a bold thing to do. You look at someone, you go, this is what we're going to do. Let's go do it, you know? Whereas other characters are going to have, like for example, and we'll see it in play, Troy's character picked 2 very defensive combat style moves, because that's just how his character is now approaching a lot of things, right?
And
you don't, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, some of the moves aren't quite actual moves. One of the moves that I took with the icon is so I could have Chumby.
Yes,
Chumby. In place of a move, I got an animal companion large enough to ride.
Right. Yes, and you chose
which is like a no-brainer, really.
I also started slightly off center with my balance. I saw that you can move that once during character creation, so I took the +1 toward confidence.
Oh, see, so I didn't know that. So if anybody else wants to do that real quick, and then while you debate it or do it, actually. I will describe the balance track. So we talked about the 4 stats of Avatar Legends and how they apply to certain roles. Well, balance is a pseudo 5th stat in this game, which is what we were talking about, kind of pulling you back and forth between the duality within yourself. And it changes for each playbook. So for example, Jess's character, the successor, is torn between tradition and progress. Amber's character, the bold, is torn between loyalty and confidence. You know what I mean? Like, and she said, I'm going to step on people. Like, her loyalty is probably pretty low. So her center is more confident than it is loyal, you know? And there are certain times in the game where if someone's talking to you and telling you to live up to one of your principles, be it loyalty or confidence, that might shift it. And there's a very special move called, you know, your moment of balance, which we might see in this series, we might not. But basically, at certain times, you can actually roll with your principles instead of certain moves stats. And we'll see if that comes up. But so yeah, I think we will finalize character creation real quick with something that a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse games do, which is the connections. And this is going to talk about how all of you view one another as far as like what your connection to one another in the team is. And actually, before we do that, let's go over the pilot again, the premise that we cooked up last time at the end of the session, so we can work Amber's character into it, and then do connections, because that's going to be something that will help her inform that, or help you guys inform how Aerie works into your connections. So does anybody want to take it, or do you want me to just roll off some shenanigans?
Take it, dude. Take
okay.
it.
So Avatar Legends, the quick start has a great little kind of checkbox thing to come up with the premise of how your group first came together and what they did in their first little adventure for their pilot episode. So for ours, we came up with the fact that for various reasons, the five of these people have all arrived in Cranefish Town, the site of Avatar Aang and crew's vision for a cooperative city of no nation and all nations at once, basically. It is not going to be it is what eventually will become Republic City and the capital of the United Republic Nation, or whatever it's called. But basically, it is a place where benders of all kinds, people from all nations, can come and live in harmony and work towards a singular goal. And if you watch Legend of Korra, that is where this a lot of that takes place, and you can see how quickly technology and things rapidly advance because of coordination and cooperation between these communities, like what everyone can bring to the table. Right now, however, we're still in the very beginnings of Republic City / Cranefish Town. So with any big kind of melting pot area comes crime and corruption. So what we came up with was, for various reasons, these five people found themselves in Cranefish Town. And not too long ago, there was a terrible collapse of some tunnels that were being excavated for supposedly infrastructure or sewers, or nobody really knows what. It was part of like this city planning, public infrastructure kind of thing. But there was this collapse, and quite a few people were lost, injured, or died. And so, in a place where you have plenty of earthbenders and waterbenders and all of these things here, obviously there was a lot of people who were upset about this. Why did this happen? This shouldn't have happened. We're better than this. So there was a protest at which I believe we decided that Rue and Arulo would have been there because they're here to support people who've, experienced some kind of awful event, and they're there to help people. We decided that Christian's character, was there to basically harp on the fact that non-earthbenders are ruining the Earth Kingdom. And Jess's character, Che, was there to try and talk to somebody in charge to be like, I'll give you a better deal and my company will do all this better than whoever messed this up.
I would actually just also say he was probably there to try to pin this somehow on Gangpo Bay.
Yeah, the police
Gang
did.
Peibo. Yeah, the police.
Gang Peibo. The police did this.
Yep.
Can't trust them. This is shady stuff. But what actually ended up happening is the four of you, and Amber, do you see why do you think Ari might be there? Or if you don't think she'd be there, we can always insert her later.
I see two possible reasons, and possibly a combination of both of them. One, I'm very interested in these tunnels and getting a very good and very accurate and thorough map of them because these are going to be my tunnels. And two, the current sort of crime syndicate that is holding power right now has slighted me and my fellow scrappers, and I have promised them they will regret it, and I intend to keep that promise.
Ooh, excellent. So you are here because you're like, ooh, tunnels under the city, perfect. And and then
those are gonna be my tunnels.
It makes all the more sense that when the five of you, from your various vantages or in exploring the area and doing what you can, happen to all oversee a small group of people approach the cave-in, which is currently cordoned off and dangerous and being dealt with by it looks like the city town planning and it looks like some kind of what's the word I'm looking for, like community or
zoning
the zoning board.
The zoning board, the planning board, the zoning board, right? Municipal people are dealing with this, but you guys see some ruffian looking types just walk right up to it and earthbend their way right through.
Oh, they think they're taking my tunnels too.
And you're like, and all of you were like, the hell's that about? So what we decided was, you all decided we got to go figure out what's going on here.
Can we say y'all for Sarah?
Y'all went down there. Y'all went down there and said, oh man.
We'll get the accent soon. Hush. Not even that good.
But so through your various means, you managed to get into these seaside caves where this accident, big air quotes, occurred, and found that a local mafia had set up a relatively complex network of smuggling caves, smuggling tunnels. And when
the cabbage smuggling ring goes deep here.
If you guys don't think I threw the cabbage merchant in here, you're wrong.
You were sorely mistaken.
But you found out that this mafia, which all of you are like vaguely familiar with the name, it's the Badgermole Mafia.
These guys.
And it is led by the infamous Don Moshan. You get down there and see a bunch of various types of benders, not just earthbenders, but firebenders, waterbenders, all down there excavating these tunnels, working on hiding shipments and smuggled things and whatnot. And you guys over here, because again, think of this as like a pilot episode of a cartoon, like, oh no, like this is the big bad thing. The Don himself in his furs and ridiculous. I don't know what accent I'm going to give him.
That's guy, Don. He's slighted me.
Yeah, the Don. I always give Mafia people, I have to give them like that New York, hey, you know what I mean? Like, hey kid, you're part of the family now.
One of us.
But every time, even in Avatar, it's just like, anyway, I'm not going to do that because I'm terrible at that accent. But he was talking to one of those municipal people in the planning director of Cranefish Town, currently appointed to the, council, Director Shu. The two of them were down there and you heard something along the lines of like, this setback better not cost us. And the Don says, relax, everyone around here is idiots. I got this. They have no idea what's going on. Give them a tragedy. They'll be distracted. And basically you overhear that the Mafia and at least one member of the council are currently working on some kind of smuggling network here in Cranefish Town. Before you could find out much more, I think we decided that I was the one who goofed or something.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what we said, but he was definitely is the one to have goofed.
Listen, if we
Overconfident.
chat, go ahead and just type in who you think the analogs for the actual Avatar characters are for this, because if you don't think I is Sokka, I don't know what I think that's where I'm at with this. But yeah, you do something and knock something over, or like scoff like you would, you overhear someone say something stupid and your character would be like, and they're like, what the hell? You know what I mean? But yeah, so you make some sort of noise and alert some thugs, some ruffians, and you guys have to get out of Dodge, and you desperately escape before being captured by the Mafia. You manage to get out without losing anybody. You get out, and a whistle, you just hear a big old splash, and there's Chumby in the coastal waters to swim you guys. Everybody on the Bruceopotamus. But yeah, you guys have made a harrowing discovery that has bound you 5 people together in a mission to make sure that the promise of a new cooperative city by Avatar Aang and friends doesn't fall into the wrong hands before it even has a chance. So that is where
right back.
Yes. Okay, so go do that, and we will talk about your connections to one another, and then we will start with the series proper. I know we're already at like 45 minutes, but I always feel like the more setup you can do, the more it'll write itself, and we will have a great time just kind of really filling this stuff in. So connections are a playbook specific thing. So I know Amber just took a quick break, but does anybody want to take a look at theirs and maybe read their connections? I think everybody has 2 connections to fill in.
Yeah, I actually did mine already, so I can start with mine.
Yeah, so you won't have a connection to every other character, but it does help kind of build that rapport, or just a way to consider the the role play between you and another character.
Yep. So I have 2. How do you say it's Che, right, Jess?
Yes, it's Che. Yeah.
Che. So I have 2. I have 1. Blank has a way to solve problems with words instead of fists. It's really impressive. Che seems like she's kind of a talker, kind of a wheeler dealer, and kind of also I can tell she's like she's like one of my peeps. Like we
He
were
has
not
a
the poor.
bazooka, Christian.
We were not. Yes, but she's also a business person. Okay, with the bazooka. Right.
Well, and a noble, right? So like, if anybody thinks they can talk themselves,
I'm here with like a hick and 2 peasants. So naturally, I'm going to be.
I was just gonna say, I don't know. Airy kind of seems like more of a smart talker.
I thought Airy, but I don't see I being like, oh yeah, I'm going to look up to her because he's all about the station, right?
Yeah, if he's impressed by anything about Airy, it's probably not her conversational skills.
Wow. Damn, I'm being besmirched. But I don't know, but he'd also might just be like, oh fuck her, she's a Fire Nation person and I hate them. So
I mean,
he's not gonna come out.
Either way, I'll take it.
He's not gonna come out and say it, but I think he likes the cut of her jib. All right, we'll put it that way. Old man sayings.
Okay.
And then the other one I have is Arulo. I worry Arulo won't be able to hold their own when things get tough. I'm going to toughen them up.
Oh, sad sack Arulo needs toughening up, which is such a
little pacifist.
The literal fucking POW over here needs toughening up.
Little pacifist. Well, because here's the thing, though. All right, I has his head up his ass. Yeah. He's 20 years old. His head is thoroughly up his ass. All right, he thinks he's like the shit, and
That's so
he worries about it.
That's such a privileged, abusive stance. That's like such a privileged, abusive stance on Troy's character. It's just like, this guy just turned into a soft bitch, and it's like, oh, like,
what are you gonna do?
I also think I'm the shit, but I actually am to back it up.
Oh my god! Oh,
that
that's
was
so
awesome,
funny.
Christian. That's great.
Christian, I love that even in your connections, you're just playing such an asshole.
I'm just twisting things.
Oh, good. All right. Does anybody else have some ideas for their connections?
I do.
Okay. The idealist, correct?
Yes. So my 2 connections are, I will start first with, first one says, I recognize some of the pain I have felt inside of Christian's character. I'm going to help them.
Oh,
wow.
Because I remember a time not too long ago, although it seems like it was a long time ago, when I too was full of rage and anger, and boom, I'm gonna help him out.
We're gonna have a full Uncle Iroh and Zuko team going on
Oh my
here.
god, it really is.
Jeez.
Oh my god, it really is.
The romance continues.
You're like, here's
Oh
some
my-
the
tea, chill.
bromance continues. Oh.
Honestly, chat, if you don't know, the three men of DMs After Dark are all madly in love with one another.
The love story
and-
for the ages.
Like, they're meant to
Listen.
be.
We'll not check the chat for like 2 hours, and there'll be 150 messages of just these three just
Oh yeah.
in love, sharing memes.
We did so many latte puns recently. It was amazing.
Oh, save them, because we're opening this episode in a cabbage spice latte shop.
Wow, wow, that sounds absolutely
How did we
dreadful,
all miss
first of all.
this?
I know. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So
and then
my
Maybe
And the other
nice.
one.
my second connection is actually going to be Ailey. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Airy.
Airy.
Ari. Sorry, Ari. Ari frustrates me so much when she acts without thinking about the consequences.
This asshole. What about I? What the fuck?
He already
No.
chose I.
He thinks he could fix I.
I'm fixable. You're not.
Wow.
No, it's not that. It's that Christian's character needs serious reform. I haven't given up hope, but he needs reform. You just frustrate me because you should know
I'm
better. 'Cause
right
you're
a
better.
lot.
Right.
Or at
You're
least like,
better. You should know better.
you know what though, it actually makes sense. You're both Fire Nation, right? You're both not nobility, and I think this makes sense. Like, Amber, your character is reckless, and like that's something that
I
would
am.
not have flown in
In a
Rouleau's
strict
life.
imperialistic society.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you are a, no pun intended, because Che literally is a loose cannon. You are the loose cannon. You know what I mean?
The
Yeah. All right, great. These are great. See, this is why I love connections. Like, I think all games should do this and be like, you know,
Yeah.
tie a bond between you and someone else. You know what I mean? Like, just so you have that structure, that kind of inspiration. All right, who else wants to go?
I've got idea.
Okay.
I know Rue has a pretty good head on their shoulders. They're a great sounding board for my ideas, because Rue is the poorest hillbilly hick here, and I like her. So like, regardless of what she contributes, I love to go over my ideas with her.
She's too nice to tell you that it's a bad idea. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if she has like a devious mind like I do, but
Oh,
she's
that's so funny.
chill enough to listen.
Okay.
And okay, question for you guys. Jess or Christian, you both sound like snobby assholes. Which one of you is most likely to be the one that scoffs at my plans, who one day I will show what I can do?
Yes.
Probably me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably me.
Yes? All right, that will be you.
'Cause
You
honestly,
scoff at my plans,
I-
but one
I
day
is
I will
very
show you what I
likely-
can do.
I is very likely to respect the fact that you're trying to tear things down, because he's there for the same reason, more or less.
Yeah,
So,
and I think that Jess's character as a Fire Nation noble is probably the one who looks at you like a disgraced military kid who just like
She
turned for
also
life a
thinks
crime
she's hot
and
shit
be
and
like,
real smart with her technology and stuff, but I'm smarter.
all you need to do is steal that technology and you'll show her.
Well, thank you for inventing this gun for me.
For
You
me,
need to
yeah.
figure out how to use it.
Yeah. Ooh, already with the sass.
I saw you use it once.
All right,
I'm
so
a
that
quick
leaves
learner.
Rue and Che.
Che.
What?
Yeah, mine's a little hard. One is like has major concerns, fears, or grievances with my lineage and with me by proxy. So that could be
Could be
Christian,
me,
maybe?
That could be Christian.
Christian.
Yeah.
'Cause I
he's-
love- I
feel
both kinda love
Christian is
and-
the
I have a
most
love and hate.
familial.
yeah.
Okay,
But I'd
okay.
probably be
I'll
the
do
one
I.
of, yeah, because that's perfect. Because that was my problem with taking you as, respecting you for your ability to just not smash people.
Yeah, having concerns about your lineage.
I just hate rich people.
Yeah, no, but it makes sense because I is dealing with the fact that he's trying to keep the Earth Kingdom,
The Earth
a
Kingdom.
powerful thing, the Earth
Yeah.
Kingdom, and like the Fire Nation's moving in, and if anybody's pushing all this technology and like again, like war is terrible.
doesn't
but
like
war
change.
drives a lot of
Yeah.
progress. You know what I mean? And the Fire Nation was kind of the spearhead of that progress. And so, yeah, he's probably terrified that your lineage, like someone of your station coming in and being powerful right off the bat, that could be dangerous.
All right, I'll take it. And then I guess I'll also do Airy, as seems free of their past in a way I wish I could let go of mine. Hearing them talk about the future feels amazing.
Ooh,
that fits really
interesting.
good.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was between Airy and Arulo, but
I think
Oh.
Airy fits more your speed though,
I
because
think
you
so
don't.
too.
You're not all about harmony and love. You're about like being
Nice.
bold.
I would
and-
also argue that Aru
Building
isn't really
building a
free
better
of his
world
past.
with your own bloody bare hands.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think-
good
I
point,
think-
Christian.
Yeah.
I am not okay with my past.
Yeah,
that's-
that was the thing.
But I probably haven't spoken much with you about it. It's one of those things that I'm trying to process like personally. You know what I mean?
And I think more for me, I wasn't sure about what future you're headed towards or what you think about the future
Right.
should be.
Sure.
All right, and that leaves Rue, our swamp icon. How do you like? Again, I love that. Like you haven't been chosen. Oh, you've been chosen once in all of these connections, but it makes sense because like everyone's just like, and the
Sounding
Moosepotamus
bored.
girl is here,
Like, oh, and her. Okay.
and this, and it's
Yeah,
just
I was
like,
like, Rue's supposed to be super traditional, right?
it's like swampy girl, just like,
It's like,
here you go.
dang.
Swamp
She's
ass
just
thing.
there. So actually I really like both of mine. So for the first one, I read this and I immediately knew this was Che. Che seems to not fully understand what it means that I'm the icon of my tradition, and I kind of like feeling free around them. It's this weird, like, she
She's
doesn't
like,
get
oh
it.
yes, you have the pressure of 12 swamp people's expectations upon you.
Yeah.
You know?
And she just like, oh, okay, I could live with this. And then
That's so cute, and you're like, it's not serious. Like
The
oh,
crushing
okay.
pressure of your tens of followers.
which
Dozens of
for-
us.
Kind of
There
like
are
our stream.
dozens of us.
The question-
There are tens of followers.
10
that count on
followers.
us.
Who we love.
for
Thank
Rue,
you
it's
so
like
much,
a huge
guys.
deal.
Who we love.
And then Arulo makes me feel better about my responsibilities and my burden with a smile and a few kind words.
Oh, that's nice.
He's just
Aw.
chill.
Bro.
He's the wholesome guy.
Yeah, and she's like, all right, I kind of.
So when we need an adult, it's Arulo. Arulo's
Yep.
the person that we need.
Yeah.
yeah, he's the adult.
Correct.
And then Christian's character's like, yeah, when we need a soft little bitch.
Whatever, Dad. You're not my dad.
yeah, right.
You're not
Oh my
dad.
god. We should-
Oh
Oh
god.
my goodness.
This is gonna
okay.
be great.
So yeah, I guess with that, we are good to start. Everyone has an idea of how everybody is connected to one another. And at this point, whether or not all of you like it, you find yourselves kind of just tied together in this potential conspiracy that you are the lone, observance of. So I do think we're going to start this episode. Think of it like, last week on Avatar, and we see that whole thing play out again, right? And then this week it starts, and it is just the five of you sitting in it's a restaurant called Cabbage Delicacies. Fun fact, this is canon. It exists in Cranefish Town. It is the Cabin Merchants Restaurant.
Oh,
And
I'm glad he finally made it to a place
Yeah,
that's a little
he-
harder to destroy.
Exactly, and that's
Just
exactly
a little though.
that's the rationale he gave. Was I felt like it was a little more safe and not in a cart, so I made a restaurant. So he sells things like cabbage cookies, cabbage noodles, cabbage soup, and I wrote, and an experimental new cabbage spice latte ? So,
I love
I
it.
mean, I have to try it. I have to
You
know.
have to.
that is
I
a
have to.
bold move of yours.
Yeah, I have to fucking try it.
Would we argue that is stunting? I just
Yeah,
wrote
that
stunt.
just-
I just wrote
First
stunt
one.
on him. I don't know what that means, but no. So, yeah,
I think it was like a daring stunt.
Pull off a ridiculous stunt.
Ridiculous.
Drinking
Pull
a
off.
cabbage spice latte. Here I go.
Cabbage
And you
spice
drink the
latte.
whole thing.
Oh my goodness.
Rue has absolutely ordered a cabbage spice latte.
All right, yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, can we just get a facial reaction for this is gonna be great for podcast, a facial reaction of everyone's response to cabbage spice latte. Just right now, everybody hit me with one. That's Ruiz.
She's interested. Yeah, like oh,
It's basically like the water from where you live. That's basically what you're
You're
drinking.
like, not
Heat
bad.
it up
Like,
a little
the
bit.
fuck?
Reminds me of
Definitely
home.
not talking to these two for like 2 hours. Or like get a breath mint or something.
A
Spit
Rulo
it back into
smiled.
the cup. No.
You did.
Rulo
Yep.
just enjoyed it.
There's
Yep, warm
already
smile.
mint in it. The fuck?
Yeah, it's definitely cabbage and mint.
It's like
and,
cabbage, mint, and like cardamom. The fuck is this?
And milk.
You mean milk? Yeah,
Milk.
steep frothed milk.
Milk and cabbage, things that
yeah.
go together.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
back us at $10 and we'll make and drink a cabbage spice latte.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I'll do that for sure.
I'm gonna-
For
Oh.
$10,
I-
we'll engage in public humiliation.
I've never even had cabbage, guys. No.
Oh, I'm
There's
Polish.
a
Polish.
place in
Cabbage?
Israel
Actually really
she'll
good.
do it for $10.
Cabbage is great. Yeah, cabbage is great.
I used to hate cabbage growing up.
I've never
It's
had
fine.
it.
I'm not a
Cabbage more.
fan, but I'll drink it for
Um,
$10.
But I'll
I
drink
will
it for
drink it for
$10.
That is
Oh
my
my
price.
god.
I also
Okay.
will drink it for $10, but oh.
Setting the
I will
bar
do
right
worse
now,
things
guys.
for
We
$10.
invest.
For
We
$10
invest in like
and
a
the
$1,000
enjoyment of our
freaking latte
fans.
maker.
This is the bar we're setting. So anyway,
I said
um,
it. I've gone there.
all of you are sitting there
Bold move.
potentially enjoying your cabbage spice lattes and just discussing your plans basically. I think that we decided that this happened like overnight. It was like you guys went in there and escaped like in the early hours of dawn. So yeah, like you found a place at this point to just kind of all be like, we need to talk about what's going on. So does anybody want to discuss anything with any other players, or just kind of, because otherwise I can
Fucking just. We need to find out what they're smuggling in first. We need to waylay some of the product, open up the crate, see what it is, and then we'll have a better idea on what to do next. If it's weapons, it's gonna be very different than if it's like Coke or if it's just jewels, Is there Coke in Cranefish Town yet? I don't
There
know.
should be.
I don't know if they ever
There's
talked
Coke
about,
everywhere in Avatar.
I don't know if they ever talked about blow in the Avatar universe.
I've added this to the canon. There's blow. It's a serious blow problem.
Fear and loathing in Cranefish Town. It's just,
Yeah.
well,
Guys, I'm gonna interrupt this before it ever happens. Otter Poet in chat.
that was so good.
Considering this group, this drink makes perfect sense. They're all carrying emotional cabbage.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
That's very good. So yeah, that's a very valid concern. Oh, actually, I wanted to ask this question, kind of like what I did with Kids on Bikes. Another way to just kind of frame the scene and really highlight what I love about Powered by the Apocalypse games is like a lot of them have, surprisingly, Avatar doesn't, but a lot of them like Dungeon World or Monster of the Week, I know, have moves that specifically allow you to ask questions or kind of provide lore as a player, like influence the world building, influence like what the actual scene that you're interacting with is.
Proposal. There's blow now.
No. That's, well, you know what?
All
Actually,
for it.
I might
There
have,
needs to be
I,
blow.
I really might have just stepped in it because one of the two questions I was going to ask was, one of you found something while you were down there, and the other question I was going to ask is, prompt I was going to put your way was, one of you dropped something while you were down there.
Ooh.
So, like, what did you find? What did you leave behind? And like, if anybody else wants to, have a personal connection complication with what happened down
So
there.
we found a bag of yay.
Wait, what?
Oh my god!
Like, I don't know what this is, but it was down there. There's a bag of white powder on the table.
Oh my
Whatever this
God.
bag of white powder is, we have it.
Yeah.
As rapidly
Put it
our
in the
Avatar
latte.
game and our Blades game begin to intervene.
Yeah.
What, did we
Yeah,
did
great.
we find a box, Rainy?
Cranefish Town
Wet.
becomes Duskball.
Yeah.
We do have a
Moving
foggy
in a
bottom
new
person.
direction.
Oh no. Guys, people are going to search for Avatar actual plays, and it's just going to be us talking about Coke. Come on, let's be a little
No, we
better
can't-
than
we
this.
can't do
Original
better than
Avatar,
this. This is
you
who
can
we are.
tell by our
Can we
play
be a
style.
little better than this?
Can we?
We could try.
We can try.
So yeah, if
I
you
wouldn't
guys
mind
want,
having
we could
dropped
say
something.
drugs. we could say drugs, but we
I'm
will
okay
not
with
go.
anything. I was just
We will
throwing it out
not.
there.
We
It's a
will not go
possibility.
deeper into the market.
Blow the load off this case.
Oh no.
It's fucking minks. They're in a vicious mink smuggling ring. This is crates
Oh,
of weasels.
Well, hybrid animals, right? It could be like
No, just minks. They're very rare.
what is
Big
this?
coat.
What is this strange not combined animal? Like what is this? And that makes sense. That's why the Don wears fur all the time. It's just
There
incredibly
you
rare.
go.
Rare
Nice.
mink fur.
Oh, it's just
He's a mink
rare
dealer.
animals. Yeah, they're
Actually,
the Joe
if we're
Exotics.
cool with not doing drugs, because that's terrible, and we want to do rare animals instead, I feel like my character would be all about helping those minks live.
Why are you gonna pick on minks? They're so little.
Dude, I do love.
They're not even half hippopotamus. Fuck you guys.
I do love that, Troy. The way you like justified that, though, you're like, yeah, if we're not going to get into drugs, let's get into illegal animal smuggling. Like it's much better, morally speaking. You know what I mean? No. Oh man. Yeah, they're the Joe Exotic of the Don is the Joe Exotic of Cranefish Town.
That's
of
that
the-
guy. I hated
He is
him
the,
moment when I saw him.
Hold on, wait. I literally looked up some hybrid animals. He is the Tiger Dillo King. That's what they call him.
Holy
ti-
shit.
The Tiger Dillo King.
That's actually terrifying. in
Don
concept.
Um,
Tiger Dillo King.
Oh no, I didn't ever want to bring up Joe Exotic in a stream, but here we are. So yeah,
Here we are.
okay. So you guys found that, and that makes sense. Like you guys wouldn't even have to like break open.
So then
crates
we-
to
yeah,
just
so we
hear
found, like,
a
a-
bunch of animals, like
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Or we could have found like a fur,
Yeah, or furs. Ooh, which is
one
good,
fur,
yeah.
right? Yeah, or a couple furs.
One, no, probably.
I'm saying
One-
that's how
Rue
rare it
should be
is.
invested in that because if they're like fucking hunting rare
Yeah.
animals on a massive
Um,
scale here, that's definitely fucking terrible for the
One
environment.
of one of Rue's specialties is animal handling.
Yeah. So that actually ties
Yeah,
in
they're
actually pretty well.
smuggling animals for various reasons and purposes, but
Yeah. Animals,
none
animal
of them
parts.
good for the animals.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. And yeah.
Little didn't we know they were training like like therapy support like minks.
Support-
We're like
support
releasing
minks.
them into
Support
the
minks.
wild.
These minks are
Uh,
trained to detect epilepsy before
I'm
it
pretty-
occurs.
and now another one of our games merge where it's support minks, wood milfs. I don't know where the line is.
Gesture expression.
I was like, why did you choose those two things to merge?
Because you
Just
can,
because it begins with MI.
no, not well. You can call people minks, right? Isn't that a thing that people call, no cougars?
Yeah, I
It's
think that's like-
MINX
Yes,
M-I-N,
MINX.
versus
Yeah.
Oh, my fault.
MIS.
Yeah, no, I tried, guys.
Spelling. It's okay.
all
Jess
right.
thought it was carping, not harping.
You carp on someone. I don't
You
know.
harp.
No, you harp on them.
It's like
I don't know. I
a
wouldn't want to be
Slap the
carped
shit
on
out
by
of
a
someone
fish,
with a
dude. Have you ever
fish.
seen like carps get big, man?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to get carped
You're,
on. That's for
you're
damn sure.
like bothering someone. I don't know.
Just a large
To be
fish
fair-
just
Someone with a
splashing
fish.
next to someone, just hitting them in the face.
Oh, we are in Cranefish Town. Now there's absolutely going to be someone who wields a carp for a weapon. Like you guys are in for it. Just getting slapped by fish.
Wailing on it.
Oh my god.
So much pain right now, guys.
We've already created a nightmare version of this
Yeah.
beloved intellectual property.
How do?
So yeah,
hey, we
so
just-
basically
we
this
just-
this ties into our running games and canon episode because we just shit all over this like,
Immediately.
massively.
Yeah.
Everyone's childhood.
my advice
Reckless
was
abandon.
my advice in that was just run it away from where the story is, or before or after. And now I'm just going like, or just introduce blow and animal. Really go off the rails with this, no. All right. So minks and rare animal trading. You said you dropped something. What did you drop? That is like
So I'm okay with
incriminating or
continuing. I'm okay with continuing the tradition of I being a screw up, because one of the things on my character history is what fragile trinket or heirloom do you keep and protect?
It's already gone.
No.
And I'm thinking like
First 5 minutes.
my dad's like Diley badge or something along those lines.
Oh, that's great.
Which would totally be something that
That's
he
so
had.
good.
Yes.
That's so
Damn.
good.
Dude, they are gonna be in fear of their lives, and then the 5 of us are gonna show up, and they're gonna be like, "Wait a minute, what?" Oh, it's the greatest like ruse in all history. This is so good.
Oh man.
That's great.
So you dropped your father's Dai Li pendant.
Yeah.
But you guys did
Wow.
discover that they are both creating this smuggling this network of smuggling tunnels, and you are also aware of the fact that they are doing something with exotic and rare animals, which absolutely gets Rue's attention. So yeah, some stuff's going down, and you guys are at the moment trying to figure out what you're going to do about it. But I think that's a perfect opportunity for Christian, your character, to be sitting there and then like reach for the pendant. And be like,
that's exactly what I was thinking. So, we're sitting there and I don't know, kick it off. Someone say something. Amber was
Go for it.
starting. Yeah, go for it, Amber.
Okay, I'm just gonna notice that look on your face and be like, "What did you do, Chucklepuck? What did you do?"
Nothing. It's got to be here somewhere. Hold on. And I'm just going to stand up and like look under the table and be like, "Move, you fucking hick." And like move
Wow.
way out of the way. And be like,
Well, that's not nice. What are you
Jeez,
looking
it's
for? We
gone.
can help.
"No."
You left your driver's license, didn't you? You just left your driver's license.
Fake driver's license. No, it was. I can't believe I lost it. It was my father's.
I
Does
will
it have your
see-
name on it? Are they gonna figure out who the fuck we are?
Is it really that important?
Would it have his name on it? Probably.
probably.
This
Like a badge.
Otter poet.
I
Holy
ex-
shit. Never mind.
I say, everybody calm down. We can find whatever we're looking for. I'm gonna
I
go
think
grab
we
some
have
chamomile
bigger
tea for
problems.
everyone.
I think we
No,
have
you don't
bigger
understand. I
problems than
have to
whatever
get
you
that
dropped.
pendant back. You don't understand what it means to me.
No, I don't understand, but we just came across something huge.
It has his identifying information on it. They can find us.
I can find him.
That's
We
true.
are sitting
actually.
next to him in public right now.
That's fair.
I want to scan. I want to scan the room as I go and get some chamomile tea for everybody.
Yes,
Because the hammer over here is kind of making a scene.
Chamomile cabbage tea specifically.
Oh God. Oh.
Yeah, chamomile
Oh, God,
cabbage tea. That sounds good.
horrible.
No. No more.
That sounds great.
I don't know if this is quite a roll as you're just kind of doing it, but why don't you roll me to just get the first roll out of the way? Roll me and assess the situation.
Okay, and then which trait do I add to that, if any?
Yep. So it says when you assess the situation, roll with creativity.
Okay.
Let me know what you get.
Yep. Let me see. I just got to check what my +1 and stuff is on that real quick.
Yep.
Creativity is a 0, so I get a 9.
Okay. So
Nice.
it says here on a 7 to 9, ask one question from the list. It says, "What here can I use to blank? Who or what is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my best way out, in, or through? Or who or what is in the greatest danger?"
I like the what is the greatest threat?
Okay. So yeah, thank you
The
for
fucking cabbage water.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
for a second you look and it's just like
The menu.
green liquid. No, but no, what you actually thank you for setting me up there. You start looking out and you turn back with like a tray full of tea to go back to your friends. Like, everyone's gonna just calm down, you know what I mean? And walking up and down the street, you see familiar looking kind of whatever whatever the pseudo uniform these mafia thugs were wearing that you guys saw last night going in and out and work like the workers, right? Like they all wear some kind of identifying marker. We called them the Badgermole Mafia. Do we have an idea for maybe what identifying? They could be the Tiger Dillo Triad or something.
I keep imagining
my God.
something else when you say Tiger Dillo.
I know. I don't like Tiger Dillo.
I do not like
too
it
close
either.
to Tiger Dillo. Tiger
Yeah, let's
Dillo.
What about
Tiger
what
dildo,
about,
yeah.
what about armigers?
Armigers.
Armigers. It's a- yeah.
Armigers.
That's that meme with the girl with the goosebumps.
Ermagerd. Yeah,
Ermagerd.
It's just- he's the Ermagerd king. Anyway,
I'm okay
yeah,
with sticking
gonna-
with Badgermole.
Like Badgermole.
we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's stay there. Let's stay away from Tiger Dildos.
He says very regretfully.
Meow.
Oh my goodness, what have we done? Okay.
So I see them walking by. You said we're walking up and down the streets.
Well, yeah, you see like them in pairs, and a pair of them are walking into the cabbage delicacies shop. And they open the door, and like, you know, the bell rings, and you just see the cabbage man, like, and he just stands up with like he's like, "What a good cabbage!" And he goes, "Oh, customers!" And he's just like, he goes, "Yes, how can I help you? Finest cabbages in all of Cranefish Town. What is it that I can do for you?" And
slapping that cabbage out of his
Am
hand
I
so hard.
am I still at the counter right now?
If you'd like to be,
Yeah,
I
I'd
kind
like
of
to be at
imagine
the
you're-
counter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these two walk in. They kind of survey the scene. I imagine I is just sitting there like this.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of shielding his face or whatever. And they're not so much paying attention for that, but they walk in and they just go like,
I'm looking right at them.
yeah. They don't even clock you, Ari, because they're just looking and they go like, "All right, cabbage man, it's that time of the month. Pay up your yuan if you want protection." And then he just goes like, "Cabbage is slow this time of year." He goes like, "I'm just gonna need a little bit more time to work up the yuan to get you guys your money." And then he like slams his fist on the table, and one of the cabbages falls, and he's like, he's about to say it, and they go, "Don't even say it." And he's like, "Okay."
I would like to quietly interject in this situation if I'm at the counter near them.
Yeah.
I say, gentlemen, I think there must be some sort of miscommunication here. I say, is there a danger? Is there something that this gentleman needs protection from?
Yeah, and they just look at you and they look you up and down, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, you haven't heard? Some businesses have been getting windows smashed and shipments gone missing, or, you know, vandalism, burglary. Things are not so safe in this part of town sometimes. And, you know, we just like to patrol the streets and make sure everybody's safe, but we ask for a little bit of, you know, little bit of money to do
Oh my
our
gosh,
part."
can they wear like little Peaky Blinder hats that have like a white and black blaze on them, like a badger stripe?
Yes, they absolutely can.
That's what they do.
Absolutely do. Yep.
Done.
I say, well, in that case, it sounds like you are doing a very important service to the members of your community.
We're you know us, we're good guys. That's what we are.
I grab two of the chamomile cabbage teas from my tray, and I say, if you and this proprietor have a prior arrangement to, if he pays for your services of protection, you should try these. I got these for my friends, but I think once you try them, you will be rest assured that any sort of money that this gentleman will owe you, he will absolutely be able to gather quickly.
So you're handing them some cabbage tea?
You betcha.
One of them looks at you and he's just like, so I don't think this is a role. There is a plead, but it specifically says if you plead with an NPC who cares what you think, these guys do not give a shit.
The devil is in the details. Who cares what you think?
So Troy, I think one of the guys reaches out and grabs it and takes a sip, and he's just like, no wonder you don't have our yuan. This is terrible. And the guy's just like, "What do you mean? That's the purest cabbage I have." And he's just like, he just like spills it on his floor, and he just goes, 2 days. You got 2 days. And they turn, and then before they get too far, they go, "Oh, hold on a second." And one of them pulls a little scroll out of his thing, and he unrolls it, and he just goes like, any of you seen this guy?" And he turns it around, and it's just a very poorly drawn picture of I. Like very poorly, very poorly, like Flynn Rider in Tangled, where it's just like, they got my nose all wrong. It's like a poorly drawn picture of I. And he's just like, "Any of you seen this guy?" And like what that other guy slowly is walking over to your guys' table.
Why are you looking for him?
The person sitting at the table with him. Why are you looking for him?
Yeah. Why are you looking for him?
And then they just say like, "Oh, like we said, you know, we're the good guys. We're out here protecting our neighborhood, and we have reason to believe that this guy,
Doesn't,
you know,
doesn't the city have guards?
yeah, but you know how it is. That, you know, at this point, we're setting up the town's growing at too big of a pace to really be able to police itself. Does anybody really trust the police around here?" And like the two of them look at one another like, "Am I right? Who trusts the police?" And at
I'll
that,
lean over and try to get a better look at the drawing. I'll be
and
like,
the
oh,
funniest
no.
part is I is probably like, yeah, who does trust the police? Fuck.
That's just what I was thinking. I want to start like agreeing with these guys, but I don't want to draw attention.
You know what though? So in that case, Amber, Ari does see the picture, and like it probably doesn't look enough like
Oh no.
I to put it together. If
Oh,
you think these
gosh.
two are dumb.
I think I partied a little too hard maybe 2 or 3 nights ago, and I think I hooked up with that guy, very tiny dick. He was staying at, and I'll insert name of this inn over there.
Okay.
I'm very embarrassed.
And then one of the guys just looks at you and just goes like, ugh. He goes like, and he just
I
looks
know,
at you,
not my greatest moment.
and he goes like, yeah, I wouldn't think
Worse
so.
for
He
him
goes,
though.
and then he just like looks around and he's like, all right, well, I guess we should go check out that inn. He goes, thank you very much for your help, everybody. And he goes, and then they turn back to the cabbage man. They're like, 2 days. Are you guys just gonna let them walk out? Che, did you want to further your questions?
No. She just tells the cabbage guy to not pay these people.
He looks and he goes,
I will start cleaning up the cabbage tea that was
Hey,
spilled on the floor.
I was gonna say, Rue was going to, once things had kind of cooled down, sneak around and just water bend all the spilled tea back into a cup and give it back to the cabbage merchant.
Oh, maybe while I grabbed a rag, you were like, let me help you.
And she just
yep, perfect.
Yeah. Solid.
Those guys leave. I'll just look at I and hold up like one pinky
I-
with like a shit-eating grin.
Eyes
You
like,
you saw one of them made a note on it, and he was just like, all right, this in small
Tiny dick.
penis.
I looks at you and he's like, what? Listen, don't judge things you don't know, because I'll have you know that back in Bai Sing Sing, I was known as the Girthquake.
Oh no, guys, come on.
You
No.
got it into play.
No.
Fuck, Christian.
No. Oh, my beloved franchise. You guys are doing what you did to Jess to me with Avatar. This is my Tamora Pierce.
Yeah. It's painful, right?
Oh
She's just like nodding, like, yep. I'm sure all of your friends agreed. All of your friends and siblings agreed.
no. Oh no.
Oh God.
Well,
Whatever.
Rue is up with the merchant and puts all the stuff together and just kind of pushes it over to him and just goes, Have they been giving you trouble? I'm so sorry.
he looks and he just goes like, well, yes and no. I mean, they do protect the shop from trouble, but it does seem to be that they would be the trouble they're protecting me from. It's a simple fee.
Well, just would Rue happen to have any money on her?
Yeah. I don't think.
Yeah,
any
that's
of
what
you-
I'm concerned about.
Yeah, I don't think any of you have a lot of. I think it's called yuan. I think is what they call it.
Yeah.
In Korra. But
Telling me I'm not rolling in money?
no, actually, I was going to say, Che. Not only do I think you probably have a good amount of money, we were supposed to talk about this. Don't you have like a tech crew, like somewhere in the town? Like, didn't you say you had like a?
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. So, whenever you want, we could talk about the fact that you have some like underlings that probably are here with you to help with your hopeful business ventures.
Yeah,
But,
they're probably working somewhere. They're probably not here.
actually, I will say this: one of the most prominent locations in Cranefish Town, even at this stage of its development, is what is called the Earth and Fire Refinery. And it is a joint Fire Nation and Earth Kingdom, kind of like it was a Fire Nation person and an Earth Kingdom person. It's actually Toph's father.
That works.
Yeah, and it's between
here she comes.
earthbending, Kitty, between earthbending and firebending, and then they bring waterbenders in on it. Basically, it creates a very effective refinery for ore and minerals.
Oh, that's perfect.
And it's built over like this big crystal depository, and it's like basically why everybody is moving to Cranefish Town. There's business and industry to be had. There's a lot of industrial warehouses for the ships that are coming in and out, and there's these refineries, and there's all of these metalworking places and things like that. So that is kind of like the industry that is happening, which eventually turns into the Korra era 1920s New York feel.
Gotcha. That's perfect. Yeah, they're probably
Yeah.
there. That's probably
Yeah.
where we work most of the time.
So yeah. However, yeah, so that's probably where they're at the moment. So that's just an important place to note.
Yeah, Rue is countered.
Rue is poor. She probably has like nothing. So she'll just kind of nod a little, just, well, if I happen to come across anything, I'll bring it your way. They really shouldn't be treating you like that, friend.
The first I've really caught the accent. Love it. He just looks
I
and he
probably
just
has
says,
a little bit of money. Would you say? I'm sorry. Go no, finish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I think he looks at you, Rue, and he just is like, that's so nice of you. He goes like, he says, I've had pretty bad luck with my cabbage, my cabbage empire in the past, but he says, I think this place is really going to turn it around. He goes, all I ask is for, you to be a customer that enjoys herself some of my wonderful cabbage creations. And he goes, would you like an on the house cabbage cookie?
That sounds delicious. I mean, I was so impressed with the latte, I couldn't even taste the dirt, not like back home.
And he just says, I am quite thorough about cleaning my cabbages.
She's so wholesome. I love her.
She just kind of like does the little like bow and then just comes back to the table and just turns around and she just has a giant cookie in her hands and she looks stoked.
Yeah, it's like if you
table.
sliced a cabbage, like a full cabbage head, and you sliced it real thin and then just like baked it. And like that's what the cabbage cookie is. It just looks
with sprinkles.
But with like sprinkles on it and stuff.
And she has no idea what sprinkles are, but she's enthused.
Right.
So
go
ahead.
I just wanted to ask the proprietor if he knows if multiple businesses are being hassled in such a way.
Yeah, he says like kind of this whole dockside kind of neighborhood, like in the lower like dock kind of areas of the town, are less frequently patrolled by the city guard, by the city police, as it's still kind of winding its way into a well-functioning system. And so they mostly get their protection from the gentleman with the funny hats.
Of course.
This always happens. Don Michon is a bottom feeder. They come in and hassle the poor, punch down instead of up. It's pathetic, really.
It's because the police are probably crooked.
Probably.
I mean, Director Shu was there, so someone's definitely crooked in here. I don't know how far it goes.
Oh, it's probably Gangpei Bo. He's in the police force. He's very, very crooked man. Trust me.
Well, how do you know him?
Oh, I know him from where I grew up. Just very dishonest man. Just frames innocent people and ruins their lives and careers. It's awful. He gives some money to the cabbage man, and he says, I'm sorry, friend, that what's happening here. All these foreigners coming into our country and bringing their filth and their crime with them.
Oh,
I look
shit.
I look at you and I say, that was very kind of you to give the cabbage man money.
Yes.
You like reinforce only the parts of the behavior you approve of. Targeted.
all I
Good job being nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're here to better the Earth Nation. I just want to note.
What's that?
We're here to better the Earth Nation, kind of bring you up to speed.
So the occupying for the past 100 years, that was part of the bettering too?
We're here to have all the nations work together, remember? Everyone working together in harmony.
Yeah,
that's
and
great.
whoever these people are stealing from both the city and the people here.
I want to go back real quick.
I'm just listening to this conversation like,
I want to go back real quick because I do think that this is actually relevant. I think that I want to see if this is a move that PCs can do to one another. But I think that Arulo tried to shift
ooh, call him out.
AI's balance. You know what
Shift
I mean?
me to care. Because I did. I took one. I moved myself one towards force.
Yeah, I'm still learning the triggers for the moves in this game, so I apologize. I might be a little slow on it, but I'm trying my best.
And to be fair, I didn't strike first because you were
just
being
shit on everybody
earlier, so you know.
Yeah.
So that is under balance moves. So yeah, I think that would be him trying to shift your balance towards What are the two of yours? They're
I have care and force.
Yeah.
Obviously care.
yeah. He tried to push you more
and
towards
I'm
care.
right now +1 towards force. So
So do you
Right.
try to resist? Oh, this specifically says resist an NPC. So I don't think it works.
Okay, that's okay.
Anyway, I'm not going to listen to him. He's just a freaking weenie. Anyway,
I would
You
also
lost
like
the war,
to,
man.
right, loser. I don't listen to losers who lose wars.
I would like to kind of, as we're assessing the situation and trying to decide what to do, I'm mostly being quiet and providing tea and stuff, but I will definitely take the opportunity when it's perfect to say, where weeds take up root, no flowers can grow. We must do something about these seeds of discourse and destruction being sown in the city.
Yeah, fuck those seeds of discourse. Sorry.
Discord.
Discord.
What did I say? Discourse?
Discourse.
Yeah.
Those seeds of conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant Discord.
I would
No, I know,
totally
I
agree
know.
with that.
I should not have
I, the
called you
character,
out on
not
that.
I,
I'm
me.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna get confusing. Christian.
It's the painkillers. No.
Yeah.
And when I mentioned weeds, I look at Sarah's character and I go, no offense.
That's all right. Weeds grow everywhere.
Dandelion's a weed and a flower.
Exactly.
What is
And
this
edible.
conversation we're having right now?
Yeah.
You're right. I think we got distracted.
Right. So
Yes.
anyway, what are we going to do? I need to get my medallion back. And obviously we all want to get to the bottom of what's going on in those tunnels for different reasons. So what are we doing?
Let's hang around the docks area at night, wait for these guys to show up and start smashing
Is that
some
something
windows,
you do a
jump
lot?
them, take their funny hats, and then sneak into the tunnels.
I mean,
I don't know if violence is the answer here.
we could set a trap for them.
Ugh.
I mean, if you're quick, you don't have to beat them up. You can just grab the hats. Then you have to kind of put them
No,
somewhere.
we can
so they
totally
can't
take
get
them
back and
anyway.
warn their bosses.
I say the biggest ally that we have in this is the community that is founded here. I say the men that came in and harassed this shopkeeper were not subtle. If they are doing this to all of the shops in this area, I am sure that the community is aware of their presence and does not appreciate it. If we can maybe rally the community together, perhaps
There'll
we
be
will
a
have-
distraction while we sneak into the tunnels.
Well, also, some people,
I kind of
innocent
just put my head
people,
down.
already got hurt, and we don't want that to happen to anyone else. If the community gets too involved, they might get, another accident, whether it's on purpose or not.
There
To
is
be
strength
fair,
in- there is strength in numbers, though.
Michonne's people are idiots. they're not particularly good at what they do. So I do feel if we get a 2-to-1 odds, the common cabbage shopsman can take them.
Even if there is corruption in the city, there are surely those who are, who have a just course. I'm sure if we get enough of the community behind this, they will see reason and understand that something must be done.
What are you going to
And I
do? Like
just
make a
don't-
flyer? You going to sing a song and walk down the street? Is that what you're going to do? What happened to you?
I said we will
I mean,
appeal
people
to.
do love flyers. If we spread a flyer, like meeting all business owners, this warehouse.
I feel like we need more information, and I just don't know how much the community will know. Right. I like the idea of talking to Don Michonne's men and kind of questioning him and see how far this goes.
Why don't we grab a couple
How
of them
could
and
I
we
mean,
know
it
stomp
goes
them
all
around?
the way to the city council.
That's what my dad used to do.
That's where it goes.
What'd
say
you
we
say,
can-
I?
I said let's just grab a couple of these guys and slap them around. That's what my dad used to do. We'll get information out of them.
We got a waterbender. We can waterboard.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh no.
We can't know how much the community knows. Perhaps that would be a worthwhile endeavor.
The only other concern is if there are people in the community that do know that are part of the team, I mean, they might get a chance to warn others.
Well, I believe they already have a badge that identifies one of us, so they already kind of have the advantage there.
That's if they found it.
No, it's clearly nobody anywhere near me. That was a horrible picture, and now
We
they're looking
know-
for someone.
we
They're
know
looking for
Director
someone
Shu is
who's under
involved.
endowed. So it's clearly not me.
What if we go at this from the other end instead of starting at the bottom here with the low-level street toughs and the poor business owners? We go straight to Director Shu's mansion, stake it out, break in, turn his shit over, find out what he's doing with the animals or the profits.
What nation is Director Shu from?
That's such an airy thing. Oh no, let's just go right to this.
Let's go right to his house
Yeah.
and fuck his ledgers
Eat the
off.
rich. I think Director Shu, I think I said was a waterbender.
Oh yeah, I'm all for this plan then. Yeah, I like the way this one thinks most of the time.
Because I think.
Okay. So is the
Infiltration
plan?
might not be bad.
So is the plan for you guys to go to the counselor, planning director Shu's?
Yeah, let's go stake out his estates, get an idea for his security, see if any of these shady badger hat characters come by at all, if they're really that stupid to like actually be in uniform when they visit him. And just kind of see what his defenses are, and if it looks like we can get inside at night and see maybe if he has like an animal fighting ring under his house, or at least ledgers where that tracks some profit or delivery or anything like that, other names.
Underground mink fighting.
The shoe guy, he is a public figure, right?
Yeah, he's one of the current counselors, like the people in charge of
Sure.
developing Cranefish Town.
Okay. So even if he is potentially corrupt, he is still under a ton of public scrutiny, under the
Correct.
public eye.
Correct.
So I look at all of you, and I come back from the bar after hearing the plan, and I say, the best way to gain entry into somebody's home is by bringing a sincere gift, and I have a basket of cabbage cookies.
All right.
The doorman is probably going to take that and say he's going to deliver it to Director Shu. But if we hit with 2 points of entry, that might help.
Oh yeah, split the party. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And I
GMs
think
love that shit.
if you're gonna go with that too, maybe you should include a note so he gets a little spooked.
We know what
I'm
you're
over
up
here
to,
trying to be
and
neighborly,
we're watching
and you guys are trying to make me a distraction.
No,
from
we
your
don't want to make
nefarious
him
plans.
paranoid before we get in. That'll just
Sure.
make him tighten his security.
Troy, you're the traditional paladin of a D&D party where they're just like, you go over there so the rogue can do their thing.
Right? I'm like trying to be neighborly and be like, there is a better way.
You're like, we can just ask. And I'm like,
Just be
you can ask and I can scuttle in through the chimney.
oh
You wanna
God.
break into his place
Yeah.
and find out what he's doing with the money.
Yeah,
Or, like,
or
what
the
his
animals
trade
themselves.
routes are?
I don't know if he's just skimming from the profits or if he is facilitating meetups or if he is actually doing something directly with the animals.
Could we
But
perhaps
we could
see
perhaps
what we
find
can,
out if we toss his office.
Can we perhaps see what we can learn without breaking the law first? Will you give me this? Will you give me this opportunity? Please have faith.
You know,
Okay.
I also kind of like
Our first outing will be purely information gathering. I will not enter the building. I will, however, be looking all around it and through windows and stuff while you bring your cookies.
Bring your cookies.
And Arulo, I think it's not a bad idea to gather the community, and when the time comes to kind of oust Director Shu, if he's a public figure, then that can't be good that he's kind of in nefarious acts. If people know
if he is corrupt and if he is connected to this.
I don't think we need to keep using the word if. He was down there with Don Michon.
Oh, he's definitely
one of
corrupt.
the grossest bottom feeders that exist in the criminal underworld.
I'm not familiar with the criminal underworld.
Well, I am, so take my expertise on it. Don Michon is shit.
Hmm.
Good news is he's not very good at his job, so
We should be back here in 2 days, though, at the minimum. I think we need to. When I say that, I mean like I want to be back in this spot in 2 days. So whatever it is we're doing, I would like to be back
we can
at this
stop a
shop in
window
2 days.
smashing spree if one should occur.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So-
fine. Let's make initial contact, scout, see what
Alright.
you learn from your legal above the table contact. And when it fails to be enough, we'll go with my plan.
Yeah, maybe he'll invite you in for tea.
I look at you and I say, thank you for trusting me.
Well,
So-
I sometimes rushing is not the greatest plan. It does pay to do homework sometimes. So I'll just do a little homework first.
All right. So, is everybody on board with this? You're gonna stake out the counselors' estates, the planning director's estates, and you're going to let Arulo.
And I am using here's the plan.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, like, Amber, how soon before you just completely go, nope, I'm going in.
We'll play it by ear.
Okay.
I'm a seat of my pants kind of gal. I seize opportunities as they arise.
Is anybody else going in with me, or is it just
Yeah.
I'd like to go with Arulo.
Ooh, is anybody else going with me? Anybody at all?
I do not want to break into this person.
If you ask Rue to go, she will go.
I mean,
I
I think
will also happily take Rui to snoop around because should I get caught, Rui is so genuine that I don't think she'll even have to lie to divert suspicion. She'll just be like, I was looking at your shrubs here in the garden. And I'll be like, that's actually true. We're fine.
I
Or
mean-
she was looking at shrubs and I was checking the locks on your windows. Like,
Arulo and Che are both Fire Nation, so I mean, like, you two being together in a,
We're
thing, it
very
makes
different
sense.
Fire Nation, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you can both kind of like put on a coordinated front. The
Yeah.
two of you with Rue, it's not that it's weird, but I mean, like, it would be a.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that. That makes sense.
And then
I-
are you?
I
Going for
wants
here's
to
the
go
plan.
with kind of wants to go with Ari, but
Okay.
she's probably gonna ditch him. I don't know.
7.
Also, 7 for here's the
That's
plan. And who
two,
are
I
you
think.
working the plan out with? Are you working the plan out with I or Rue?
I mean, this particular plan is
Or Rulo, no?
I mean,
it
I
could
think
be.
it's I don't think I'm just
We could
reading this.
say-
It doesn't super specify. I don't think it specifies that has to be one other person. I think
Yeah, that's a good
everyone
point.
here was at the table and part of the plan. So
Yeah, I'm
let's
cool
say
with that.
It counts for everyone right now.
I'm cool with that. Yeah, we'll just have to make sure that, like, fictionally, like, you can't aid someone if, like, you can't see them. You know what I mean? Like, if they're-
No, I'd have to be able to physically perform. the
But at least
actions,
this way,
yeah.
like, yeah.
If
at
I
least
run
this way.
into him, come around the front because they're having trouble, I can help him or something. or-
Exactly. Okay. All right. So we flash forward. So yeah, you got a 7 and 9, so you hold 2, and you got a 7. You said, right?
Yeah, I got a 7. I just
Okay.
made it
All right, cool. So yeah, you have 2.
by the skin
to
of my
use.
focus.
2 to use
Creativity.
there. And so yeah, we cut the scene to sunsetting, and it's getting a little darker out. I think you said you were going at night. So Troy, Arulo, and Che are at a gated. At this point, Cranefish Town isn't crazy. Like, it's not going to be like this crazy estate like there would be in like 20, 25 years from now. But he has a very nice piece of property up on a hill over the bay area where Cranefish Town is. And you can see that he has like a gated little compound with his house in it and stuff like that. So when you guys approach, you do see that there appear to be a small like group of patrol guards kind of just doing rounds. But
Sure.
they're specifically not wearing the police uniforms of Cranefish Town.
Okay.
Before we go in,
Private
Mhm.
guards.
It looks like private guards.
Arulo, what are you planning on asking him?
That is a good question. I look at you, Jay, and I go, you are of a noble family, are you not?
I am. Thank you for
say-
noticing.
So you are probably much more well versed in the idiosyncrasies of a man such as this. I think you might have some great insights, and I think maybe you should start the questions, and I will be here to support you.
Hold the cookies.
If we go in and talk to him, though, I will probably straight out just ask him what he's doing underground in the caves.
That's
We do
terrible.
need to work subtlety in here because he is a powerful man, and
Talk about your factory and the factory and businessy shit.
And
We're not here to
I-
just be a distraction.
Well, actually, I think we discussed this last
But
time.
then
I
once you
believe-
start the conversation in a place that is expected, and
Yeah, but
normal,
you were
can
there.
Steer it toward information.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about something?
Che,
Huh.
I actually think we discussed this in session 0.
Yes.
You've spoken to Director Shu about setting up a contract, but he specifically told
That
you
was
that
with him.
but he specifically told you that he couldn't cut
Mm,
you in on anything because his hands were tied up in contracts.
that was
Wink,
him.
wink. You know what I mean? Like, oh, sorry, I'm all tied up in
Gotcha.
other
And was it-
contracts right
Okay.
now.
And the
So,
whole and we were there
yeah.
because of the collapsed tunnels.
Yes.
Yeah, and your whole point was to talk to him there about, hey, I can do a
Yes.
good job. So that's a really good in, actually.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
now
that-
you're
that-
bringing
that
him
is a
something
great
else to re-discuss, like renegotiate.
So I'm gonna
And you're bringing
recant
cookies.
everything I said, and then
Disgusting
I'm gonna insert
cookies.
that.
Yeah.
And then I will also say that I am thankful that you are here with me tonight.
I'm just gonna walk forward.
Wholesome.
Perfect. Ladies first.
All right. I will split off with my crew in a different direction. Benders with me.
So yes, so yeah, that's a good point.
I know, right? I don't bend, but I got minions that do.
That's right. Yeah.
Minions.
Somehow you're calling the shots,
Thank
right?
God I'm not there.
Because the whole
won't.
time we were walking there, I is on this whole thing where he's like, I don't know what gave you that impression, but it's not small. It's like the
Oh my
whole-
God.
I just pat him on the
my
back like
you
there.
wounded his pride. He has
Oh my
something to
God.
prove now.
So I'm trying to think if there's like so you guys got the lay of the land. You guys looked. How about this? You guys are aware of the patrol, the private guards, air quotes, that are going around the compound of Director Shu's house estates. How about one of you can give me and assess the situation, or if you think that you've gotten the lay of the land enough that you want to. I'm trying to think of I would like you to describe how you get into the estate without getting caught. You know what I mean?
Oh, this is
so
with the
it's-
other half.
Yeah, it's walled. Is the wall
Yes.
metal? Is it brick? Is it like brick posts with metal? Like materials?
I think it's mostly stone, like brickwork.
So-
because you're in the Earth Kingdom, technically, that's like it.
Mhm.
So
Can I earth bend?
might
my
have a
way on
metal-
in there?
Yeah, I was gonna say earthbending might be an option. Have I seen I successfully earthbend in a way that leads me to believe he is capable of making an opening and then closing it and not having it look like shit?
Yeah, I was the one who got us out of there, though. I called up a wall to save us when they were chasing us.
yeah,
I screwed things up
That's different
initially.
than making the wall match previous masonry.
I can do a very good
Can
job
you?
with this. I absolutely can.
yeah.
Is
I
this
is
actual
definitely
experience
capable.
talking, or is this I don't have
I
a tiny penis?
Come
talking?
from do you need to see it right now? Is that what you want?
No,
Please
guys, we are
spare
not
me.
playing this kind of game. I'm cutting to black right now, and you guys are going to tell me how you get into this thing.
so he's like, I come from a very long line of earthbenders, and we know what we are doing. Okay? Anyway, stand back.
Okay.
And he's just like,
Okay.
What?
Well,
you're just gonna watch me? It's weird with you watching.
No, I'm gonna climb to the top of the wall and I'm gonna peek through and make sure we find a section of wall where there's not a shit ton of people hanging out.
Okay, fine.
Now,
all right.
fucking give me a boost. I'm just gonna use you like
Give her
the
a
furniture
boost.
you are.
Oh my
Get down on
God.
your hands and knees and step on his back to peek over the wall.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
You
Yeah.
guys do have
I
like
think-
a hippopotamus or something.
I think
Oh,
I
no,
was
she
kinda
did
getting
not bring
turned on.
him.
He
Oh,
should
she
not
did bring him,
hippo-
okay.
And then the hippopotamus. Oh, it's like on this place, Tom.
She put him in like the equivalent of like a stables and made
Aw.
sure that he had really good food, and she bought another.
Is it the
cookie to give him.
cabbage?
She
Did you
didn't
give him
latch
a
the
lot of
door,
cabbage?
Just in case you need to like put out
Oh,
the
he
distress
probably
honk
loves
when it comes to
cabbage.
rescue.
Rue spent all of her money on cabbage to just give to Chumpy.
And just
And
to
help
make
the
sure
cabbage
Chumpy
man.
had a good house and
Chunky
yeah.
is the escape hippopotamus, okay?
Right. right.
The escape-
I
Yes,
would
I
give
whistle.
some money. I would probably have given some money to support Chumby's cabbage habit.
The chummy fund.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's
Chunky
the one
wasn't
thing
like
that
a
brings
wussy.
us all together. None of us want to see cute and rare animals abused or skinned or exploited.
It's what you bring. Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Chumby's
So-
invested in this stuff as much as
It's
we
like-
are.
They do make nice scarves.
All right, so, all right. Here's the
All
thing. You're gonna
So
scout.
I'm gonna assess the situation. I'm gonna
Sure.
step on
Yeah.
eye and peek over the wall and try to find a section of wall that will not be super fucking obvious to the guards when he opens it.
Okay. Okay. Roll plus creativity.
Fuck, that is a 5. All looks
Oh,
all
no.
clear to me.
Oh, no.
Or
Yeah, I think what
Where they
happens is
see.
yeah, I think you poke your head up over the wall. Yeah, let me see. I think that what happens is no, you know what? I think I is trying to prove something. So he's just like, are you high enough? And he like lifts you up and you just go right over the top of the wall. And, whoa! And you guys make a big old noise. And then sure enough, around the other side of the wall where I and Rue are, you just hear a guard go like, hey, did I just hear somebody? And they pull out like a baton and they begin walking in the direction of Rue and
That's the other side of the wall. Oh fuck.
yeah. Yeah, they're on the outside. So Rue and
I'm gonna open a
what are
hole.
you doing?
Can I earthbend, open the wall, pull us through, and close it up?
Yep, sounds like you are relying on your skills and training. So go ahead and roll
shit.
plus focus, which you're good at, I believe.
No, I'm not good at.
Oh, you're bad at that one. Okay.
I'm bad at that one.
Oh yeah.
I'm bad.
His
Wait.
skills
Wait. Oh no, dangerously.
molding you to assume
have-
he has skills and
No
training.
walls can stop me. I know.
I
Right?
have walls can't hold me. Dangerously
Just
smash your
headbutt
way
it.
through walls with passion, but that would
Yeah.
that would not conceal our.
Not
Blow the wall up.
All right, I'm doing it with a -1. Here goes nothing.
like we were supposed to not break any laws as we just commit like vandalism on a massive scale.
Ooh, 9.
A 9.
Hey,
Uh,
you did it.
Here's
Ish.
what I'm going to say. Rue, is there any way you can think that you could help him to give him a +1 to make it a 10? I know he's earthbending, but
Yeah, I was like, ooh, earthbending. I mean,
because at the moment, when he's done, it's going to be imperfect, like his like reconstruction of the wall or something.
Are there like vines going up the wall, like beautiful vines, decorative vines going up the wall?
We could say there
A
are.
lot
If
of-
that's
You can
helpful.
get rid of the footprints in the mud, maybe.
I was gonna say she can kind of, I was either thinking use some like try and like muddy up some dirt to kind of patch the holes, or like Amber said, get rid of the footprints and just make it general muddy ground.
Yeah, I think you could smooth it over, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and like the ground and stuff like that. Yeah. So the two of you, like you see him starting to put it back together like really hastily, and you see like oh, it's not great. So you're just like, hold on, and you're like, you know, mud.
Cover it. Splat.
You know mud. So I believe when you help, it says take 1 fatigue to give an ally +1. So you're gonna mark
Sounds
the
good.
first fatigue of the series.
They are
Um,
gonna suck us dry.
Oh, and you know what? Actually, Amber, I would like Ari to take fatigue too, just to represent like
dropped
you
me
hitting
on
the
my
ground.
face.
Yeah. Like you're gonna take 1 fatigue. Not a lot, just enough that like you're like, ow. And at the moment, now you guys are inside the compound, and on the other side, you just hear like, that was weird. And he begins to walk back away, and the three of you are now on the other side. We still have, because it's a cartoon, we still have Ari just like on her face, and she's like slowly just, like,
Scorpion to just roll the rest of the way over.
and that's when we cut back to at the front gates, Arulo and Che.
Not even in yet. I'm like,
No.
thank you for trusting me and giving me a chance. These assholes are all already on the
Let's
other
go,
side.
Go, bust the wall.
So the two of you are at the front gates, and there's two people posted up there, and they look at you when you approach, and he looks over and he goes like, did he tell you he was expecting anybody? And the other guy just goes like, not that I know of, but he's a busy man.
I look at them and I say, good evening, gentlemen. We have come bearing the finest cabbage cookies for what is it,
Disgusting.
Inspector Shu?
Director.
Sounds
Sure.
like if you knock on my
Director
door
Shu.
again, I will have you arrested. Grounds right
And-
there. At the
and I
finest
say,
cabbage cookies.
I say it is both a visit of business and pleasure. We wish to discuss further developments with what was it again? And I defer to Che.
Che.
Yes, we have very important business discussing the reconstruction of the fallen tunnels in a better, more efficient way.
They arch their eyebrows to one another, like the hell, like, and then they look at one another and they just say like, "All right, one moment," and yeah, like you see one of them turn back around and like look up to the thing and like yeah, thumbs up, and they click open the door, and sure enough, yeah, like they earthbend. Basically, it's like a perfect wall, right? So like there is no door, but like you can see like where like there'd be an arch to be one, and like one of them like stomps his foot, and like the thing just goes, and the door opens up,
So cool.
leading to the estate's front door, and it's kind of like an open front courtyard kind of thing.
Do they leave the front gate and walk us, or does someone else pick us up and walk us to the front door?
Basically there's like a pathway that you're supposed to stay on, so like they open it, they say like just follow up to the door.
Okay.
You'll be greeted, so and then when you're in they close it behind you.
I tell the man before we go in that you are very exceptional at earthbending. I'm sure that Director Shu is very happy to have you as part of his team.
He just he like once again just like kind of looks at you like, the hell is wrong with these people? What the hell is going on? All right. You're just so nice. Like nobody's this nice, so they're all very suspicious. So, okay, thank you. And so you guys walk up and are greeted at the front door again with the cabbage cookies. You present them, and the other guy just says like, he'll be in his study. Give us a moment, and we'll let him know that you're there. And they let you in, and yeah, like he has a very nice estate here in Cranefish Town. You can see when you walk in, there's a lot of items and things like that from their water tribe, you know, like their home. So they have like a bunch of cool like fishing things and like furs and you know like sleds and skis and stuff like that, like adorning their walls and their hallways.
Can I make another I would like to look around. I'm trying to find out more about who this person is on a genuine level. I would like to, you know, basically based on your description, I'm thinking that they might have some value in their history or their tribe or their people. Right. This guy is the director of a community. So even if he's corrupt now, at least at one point in theory, he really did care about the people that he served. So I'm trying to pick out maybe an item or an object or a picture or something like that that I could later reference to appeal to that compassion.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna make you roll for this. I think that you notice that he's from the Northern Water Tribe. He is from a very. Let me just double check. I think the Northern Water Tribe is the one that Sokka and.
I think they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Sokka and Korth, yeah, they're from the Northern Water Tribe.
Okay. Cousins of Avatar, or actually, I think they might be from the Southern.
Oh, really?
The Northern Water Tribe looks like the one that is like crazy built up. Yeah, that's where she went to go learn her.
Oh, that's why she went to travel.
So he's from the much more like not militaristic, but like way more protected and big and
okay.
Traditional.
I mean, that's fine. That can also give me things to play on. Perhaps he's less about the compassion of people, but more about the duty to protect people.
He might also be the less friendly to Fire Nation water tribe. You know what I mean? Like because they fought a pretty brutal battle, you know, when I think that was the Battle of the Black Sun or whatever it was called, like where they attempted to blot out the sun and or the moon, blot out the moon so that the water benders couldn't use their powers and stuff.
Perhaps he can offer us forgiveness for our past transgressions, and we can eventually do the same.
All right. So yeah, eventually you are led in. Do you have any questions, Che, or are you just kind of taking in the surroundings, sizing this guy up?
Just kind of walking.
Do they let you have your bazooka, and do they let me have my sword?
Question. Your sword is probably fine. The bazooka, I need to ask a question about like what does it look like?
They might not know what the fuck that stick is.
Yeah, they might not know what the bazooka actually is, but I don't know.
I guess a roll of wrapping paper.
I know it probably just looks like a long, kind of thin, like
that's thin.
Wide.
That's like a gimbal.
Like when I imagine a bazooka is probably like huge,
laser rangefinder.
Right? But like it's not like thin,
like RPG
like
launcher.
Yes. But you need to reevaluate your definition of the word thin.
Thin for a bazooka.
I'm almost thinking like, I mean, if that's how big you want it to be, I was thinking it's almost like this long, thin, like cane that you can like scope with. You know what I mean? Like, and then like you can, you know what I mean? Like, and it just kind of like
almost like
super
like a blowgun, sort of
like the biggest, yeah, like
a big,
really,
like less like of a girthquake.
I was gonna say if Shay says you have a big dick, I'll believe her. No, I'll believe it. Okay. This is thin. I'm like, okay, Shay's not a big dick.
I need a
challenge accepted.
I need a buzzer so bad for this group where I just beep. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Like,
Our DMs
I
after
mean,
dark
like-
dick jokes are our shtick.
that's true. That's true. I actually almost
yeah,
opened
okay.
one. I
Okay.
almost opened an episode with DMs after dark. Not those kinds of DMs. No dick pics, just dick jokes. I was gonna say that, but here we are. We ruined
But you
it.
tried
Here
to
we
be
are.
wholesome,
That is
and we
also our
shit all
catchphrase,
over that.
but here we
Yeah.
are.
Hey, I have been nothing but wholesome this
This is
entire
true.
episode.
Sarah,
Sure.
I'm trying. I
Agreed.
can't. I can only do so much.
Sorry about it.
No, I
Um,
like the idea of maybe like a long cane or like a staff, kind of like a short staff situation, like a walking stick.
Okay.
We
Yeah, and it
grew
makes
up
it look
watching
classy,
Avatar,
too.
but now we're 30, y'all.
Well, some of
Um,
us.
Yeah. Sarah's still 11, and,
And Christian's
Christian
like 80.
just got accepted to the AARP. So
I did. Yeah, I'm so excited.
We sent
I
in-
get
we
discounts
sent in
now. I go to
X-rays of
dinner
my
at
back,
4.
though.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right, okay, enough of that. We get the scene of you guys with director Shu. He allows you into his study, and he has like tons and tons of site maps, like site plans and layouts and things like that of the city itself, topographical maps of the bay and this section of the Western Earth Kingdom. Basically, a lot of plans for how they're thinking about developing Cranefish Town into a larger city, and like the big plans that they have for industrializing and all of this stuff. And he doesn't even bother to clean it all up. He just lets you all in, lets the two of you in. He tells his guards, who are the indoor guards, are both waterbenders, it appears. And they let you in, and he sees you, and he just says like, Miss Zen, hello again. I'm sorry to say that despite the issues, I don't see an opening for any new business endeavors, but what is it I owe the pleasure of your company?
I mean, I've come for exactly that, Director Shu. Clearly, whoever you went with has been a disastrous mistake given the latest accident. I've come to offer mine and my family's technology again to try and reconstruct a better, more efficient tunnel system.
We have also brought cookies.
Yes,
He looks-
we have also brought cookies.
And I go ahead
She
and
said
I
that so bitterly. Yeah, I also brought cookies.
That was
So
perfect.
excellent.
A gift.
A gift. She throws it in his face.
So before I have you roll for anything, I want to see where this conversation goes. He looks at you and he just says like, it is indeed unfortunate what has happened.
More than
However,
unfortunate, disastrous. People were injured and harmed.
he says, this is true. He says, this is what happens. He says, as you know, I am from the Northern Water Tribe, and my people are very adept at controlling the redirection of water. We have been working on creating an aqueduct system and, water filtration. And like he explains like a lot of like infrastructure things that his people have been working on. He says, the Earth Nation, the Earth Kingdom bending company that we did our work with is known as the Broken Earth Construction Company. And he says,
Clearly.
yeah. And he says,
shadowing.
yes. He says, ooh, terrible. Yes, that.
Definitely not
Maybe I-
unionized.
Yeah, he says, maybe I should have seen that coming, actually. Very well. He goes, however, I
This
cannot
is
turn.
Cranefish City. Are we not moving towards a more united, integrated working
says-
environment?
Of course we are, but
You're the Water Nation. You're working with the Earth Nation. Why not involve the Fire Nation?
He says, oh, well, he says there's a Fire Nation member of our council. However, at the moment, he is dealing with tensions up in the Fire Nation colonies to the north. He says some unfortunate responses to your continued presence have made things difficult in other potentially unified establishments and settlements. He says, here, I can see if potentially there's anything I can do with the budget, but unfortunately, he says, I'm not sure exactly what your company could bring to this endeavor, especially now that it seems pretty solely to be an earth-bending type problem.
I mean, we work with metals and reinforcing kind of structures. Clearly, whatever they bent or bend didn't hold up.
He says, very well, that is true. We do have the refinery in town, which I believe we are working out. He says, that is the private business of the Broken Earth Company, but He says, I believe that they are working on establishing a trade with the Earth and Fire refinery for metal pieces. However, if you believe that maybe you can make a better deal, perhaps your more promising option would be to negotiate sales of your metal with the Broken Earth Construction Company.
I'll take that into consideration.
Hmm.
If you don't have a job for me in the tunnel system, perhaps you have another job in the city where my company and our talents, where the Zen family can be of use.
He smirks and he says, I do believe there are ambitious plans for reinforcing much of the city with metal for a experimental new group of metal benders coming out of the Beifong Metal Bending Academy to the north as well. He says, that would be quite a contract for you to land. I'm not sure if that's something, he says, I can broker for you, but I will at least put it on your radar as something to consider for the future.
I look at him and I look at you. I would like to add in, as they were having this conversation, I was listening, but I was also kind of milling about the room a little bit, as much as I could without being, suspicious. And I was trying to glance at some of the maps and get an idea of some of the underlings of the city.
Nice.
I think probably something that I have gotten good at, or at least proficient with, when I was captive in the Earth Kingdom. I definitely, out of necessity, had to learn how to read maps and navigate tunnels, because that was probably something that was verbally conveyed to me in order for me to escape. So I had to memorize that. So yeah, I will go ahead and try to see if I can find out more about the layout. But then I would also like to, as this conversation is coming to an end, I would like to look at both of them and I would say, Director, I assure you that Che is exceptional in every area of her work. She is professional and she cares about the advancements that her technologies can bring and how it can better the lives of her people. I say,
All our people.
All of our people. I actually smile at you when you say that, like a sincere smile. And I turn back to the director and I say, steel, he says, I'm a simple swordsman. I'm not a bender. I'm not possessed of the skills that you have. And I say, but this piece of steel, and I like present my sword in the way that somebody would. I say, this piece of steel is a capable tool in the right hands. And in order for this to be made, it has to be forged in both fire and water. I think that this could be the beginning of a great partnership.
Thank you, Rillo.
This sounds like you were pleading with this person. It says, if you plead with an NPC who cares what you think for help, support, or action, roll with harmony.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Plus 2.
2 ones. Oh, no. Here it comes.
Yeah, right. Let's find out.
Oh, he's...
That's a 6.
dang.
Nice.
That's a 6.
Oh,
Wow.
14.
Wow. Okay.
14.
My sword
Literally
talk.
the highest possible right now.
Damn.
And he's like,
That's
you know
great.
what? Let's seal the deal. And then they sound the alarm outside as they're getting their asses kicked by the guards.
You know what?
You just hear the baying of hounds, and we're just like, fuck, 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 fuck.
And also, yeah. So, and the other thing that I want to do is, oh, never mind. I was gonna do a balance move for Che, but it doesn't actually apply now that we've done this. So, yes, as he smiles and like thinks about it, and what you realize in this moment is that Director Shu is nothing if not also very ambitious. And he does not really care that his contract is with the Mafia. He just sees this as another opportunity for him to just make a paycheck. And he smiles and he begins to think about discussing opportunities with you guys. But as this is happening outside, what's going on? You guys have not heard or seen anything from from inside.
So Ari's picking herself up, and I just like grabs her, and he's like, "Why did you jump over? You were supposed to just be on top."
You threw me.
No, I was trying to hold you up. You went over.
Listen, you big ox. Don't move until I tell you to. I poke him in the chest a couple times. Follow me. That means move. I
just look
to
at Rui
lead.
and I'm like, she's impossible. And I just follow her.
I lead these chuckleheads hopefully stealthily toward the manor because I want to start checking like windows, other doors, if there's like, you know, a fucking basement with a bulkhead, things like that. Points of entry.
Okay, yeah. Roll assess the situation.
Yeah.
And actually, to call back to something Troy, your character, wanted to do as well.
Well, I know how to stake out a place.
Yeah. So
I'm like, I've broken into many a home.
you get to ask 2 questions from what here can I use to blank? Who or what is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my best way out, in, or through? And who or what is in the greatest danger?
2 is going to be what's my best way in?
Yep.
If I were to need to break into this house.
Mhm.
And what should I be on the lookout for?
Okay. Yeah, you see that he actually has
Casing
like
the
a back like deck porch or something like that, like overlooking like a small pond, something that like a waterbender would have. It looks like almost like a ceremonial kind of pond he has created in his backyard. And he has a nice little deck overlooking that. And what was the other question?
And the other one is what should I be on the lookout for? So I'm like assessing danger and traps and stuff, and also best point of entry.
Yeah, so I think that what you should be on the lookout for is you're very suspicious of the lack of guards inside the walls. So you assume there is some other form of defenses or something like that. And I think what you notice is
Traps.
yeah.
Polar bear dogs.
Oh, I like that. Like a guard, yeah, like a guard animal. I like that a lot. Would it be a polar bear dog? Should we just do that?
He's from the Water Nation.
Yeah, I mean, Cora
Yeah.
had one. That makes sense. Okay, so yeah, and it's sleeping on that deck in the back is just snoring. Snoring at the moment. It's just a big old polar bear dog.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Shh.
Animal handler.
We're not breaking in tonight. We're just figuring out how we're going to do it when we need to. Which is going to be through here. Huh. Are there windows on this deck area too?
Yeah, you can absolutely see into the building. It's not into his study, but you do see like a hallway with a few like doors within it. It's mostly like the building itself is almost designed so that way like there's like a hallway around and like all rooms move inward. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
I look at the windows and I look at I and I look at the windows and I look at I and I get a smirk,
And he's just like,
and
what?
I back away now because I have an idea.
Okay.
I'm quietly away from the polar bear dog. I'm like, I got it.
yeah, I'm not gonna make you guys roll stealth. I think that you rolled well enough on it to assess the situation that you didn't blow up your spot. What does everybody else want to? What is it like for while we're gonna say while Ari is kind of scouting this and like getting closer and peeking her head up above like the thing. Rue, you're enjoying the polar bear dog, but also
Her
what do you
thought-
and I do?
So Rui's thought is
So fluffy.
wait, she loves it, but she is trying to think of what it would like as a snack in case they need to bribe it later.
Okay.
To bribe
Nice.
it with love and snacks and good things.
Earthbender flesh.
Yeah, I mean they'll
I
eat.
would love to eat a thief.
I think polar bear dogs are pretty omnivorous. I think that as long as it's a good amount, you could distract it with it.
That's at her. She's like, all right.
He likes
Polar
some
bear
fish
dogs
and
are
some
quantity over
watermelons.
quality.
So
Aries seems
fancy.
to want window next to animal. I can take care of that. I can bribe it. But otherwise, she's also trying to see, because you said there was like a large like pond deal.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He made like a little pond. You'd actually, I don't know if the Foggy Swamp Tribe would have these, but like in the northern and southern water tribes, they like have small little ponds. Like remember the one with the 2 fish in it in Avatar? You don't, Sarah, but
I've seen it probably.
yeah.
That
And
But
one is dope.
Langfish.
yeah, they're almost like a ceremonial, like religious kind of thing. Yeah.
Is it bigger than that pond though?
No,
Rennie?
it's kind of like a small little fish pond in there.
Small
Yeah.
little fish pond. Okay.
I will headcanon that Foggy Swamps have their own version of it.
Yeah.
It's like a puddle
Muddy
with toads in it.
muddy catfish, but yeah.
Or
Or
Yeah.
alligator.
Aw.
Yeah, what can we mix with a frog real quick? Think everybody.
Turtle.
Frog moles.
Hamster.
Just
Turtle.
frog. Yeah, frog moles, frog hamsters, right?
Frog
There's
hamsters.
Frogsters.
No, frog muskrats. Because those are both things that'll be in a swamp.
Musk frogs.
Fruskrat.
Scrogs.
Scrogs.
Muskrat. Frogs.
Scrogs.
Frog.
Yeah, you know what they are too? They're frogs with like a muskrat tail and like the big muskrat teeth. So like they're frogs with these big old teeth on them.
Holy shit.
That's horrible.
Amazing.
Somebody please draw that monstrosity.
Scrog.
Oh no.
Ribbit.
But otherwise, she's just keeping her eyes out for anything that might be coming by.
Okay. All right. And you haven't really spoken up.
So I is not subtle at all. So he's way out of his comfort zone. I know, right? It's amazing. So he is looking around to see if there's any like within the gardens or anything like that. He sees a big freaking dog, and he might have to do something to it. Are there any
He's like, what will I crush it
little
with?
stones around? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like little ones,
yeah.
like only like this big.
Yeah, no, he's actually.
You know,
like,
people put like little,
lining
like the riverbed.
pond. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm just gonna like levitate a couple of them into my hand. Just have them handy.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, you've armed yourself with a few small stones.
That is a ceremonial sacred pond. You can't just do that.
What? I need the stones.
You can get them from elsewhere. And what do you need them for?
I might need to knock out the bear dog.
I might need to kill the dog.
You will do no such
I is literally
thing.
just becoming the villain of this. I'm gonna scrap everything I've written. No.
The usurper.
Okay, so all right, so you're not making a move, or what is Ares' plan before we go back to Troy?
I'm keeping to my word with this one. I told him that I would not be breaking in tonight. I'll give him a shot to gather info on the inside, and I'm just going to figure out for when his plan fails, how I will break in. And I've got my plan now. I know that the back deck is going to be the best way to do it. I know that Rue is very good with animals. She can probably distract that polar bear dog. And I know that I have access to an earthbender. So I have a full-blown heist in my head right now.
All right, excellent. Oh, we might end up doing that then. That's great. I think we cut back to Che and Arulo. And I think that Che, I think at this point we see Arulo and like we cut back to him and he's like, I don't know if you'd be bored, but like Che and Director Shu are in like discussions about like supply chains and like realistically how many tons of metal can you bring in on a Fire Nation?
I think I actually this is where I would kind of fall back on my military discipline and my training, and I would stay focused at the task at hand, and I would continue. I would continue to gather as much information as I can from the maps without looking suspicious.
I'm getting very heated and angry and almost burning corners of his desk and like fighting, trying to crumble cookies.
Can you
Arulo
intimidate? Like I just imagine Che is just like,
Oh my God, Burger. No. She's clawing my table. She's never done this.
oh no.
That's what I'm doing.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to feed the beast
With
before she
fire.
destroys my house.
Sounds good. Yeah, we're about to wrap up anyway. I don't want to do too much longer, and we'll end on like a sweet cliffy.
Just like I would hate for my mother's technology to go to waste in this city.
Yeah. So I think that he's giving you a hard time. He is open to doing business because Arulo made some nice points, right, about the potential between waterbenders and firebenders. He's probably open to the idea of cutting earthbenders out of it. You know what I mean? Like that just seems to be like the kind of person he is. He's like you know what it is? Water follows the path of least resistance. That is how he does his business. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, if I can cut this corner, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go with the flow in the easiest way to make the most money with the least work on my part. So that's how he seems to be operating. I think that you're getting frustrated because you don't want to do this much negotiating. You just want to like, tell me I could do it. I'll make this better. So I want he is, like part of me wants to, it says like when you take action in accordance with the values of a principle, you can roll with it. You know what I mean? And I think you are working on progress, like, right? Like you are saying, I'm working towards this. Like for once, you know what I mean? Like I'm not holding to the tradition that like Fire Nation's better. Give me this because I will make all this stuff better. And whether or not, you know what I mean? So I don't know if you want to intimidate an NPC or, you know what I mean? Maybe, you know what? Maybe, how about this? When you openly call on someone to live up to their principle, like you're calling on him to be like, you're here on a council to progress this city. It just so happens to line up with your principle. So can you, it just says, name and roll with their principle, which is progress. So let's go ahead. Just roll me.
Roll with progress.
What is your balance at the moment?
Probably 0. I didn't shift it either way.
Okay. So go ahead and just roll 2d6 flat. And let's see, it says here.
I got an 8.
Amber, you're muted.
An 8.
Yes.
What's that, Amber?
So would she be rolling and applying his modifier with where he is on his principal scale for that? She's forcing basically him to roll principal, which she's rolling
You know what?
for him because you never roll.
I guess so.
As the GM.
Yeah, it says roll with their principle. Name and roll with their principle. So I guess so. And I think his 2 principles would be like progress and profit. You know what I mean? Like, do I really want to help or do I really want to just make money? And like you're calling on him to roll progress. At the moment, he's more profit. So I was going to give it, if it's -1, right, for progress and +1 for profit at the moment for him.
This could be profitable for him.
Yeah,
too.
but even
My
either
family
way,
doesn't
yeah,
have money.
that's true. You could be rolling.
Yeah, that makes sense how that works. You're basically forcing
Yeah.
an NPC to
The
roll.
minus.
You're
Either-
like, hey, do this because of this.
Either way, that's going to put you in between 7 and 9 because you rolled an 8, so
8,
+1
correct.
or -1.
Minus
You
1
know,
would be
so it
7,
says
yep.
here on a hit, they're called to act as you say and must either do what you ask or mark a condition. On a 7 to 9, they may change your own mind in turn, mark a fatigue, or they shift your balance as they choose. So you've hit, and he's going to have to do what you're asking, which is get you involved in, providing the city with metal for doing what you want.
Yeah.
The more they have one principle, the more susceptible they are to it. Yeah. So,
But he's going to make a counter appeal about the way it's done against hers.
yeah, it says here you can
And she
either
can take fatigue or let him shift her balance.
correct.
Yeah, that seems to be.
So it says here he has to do it or mark a condition. I don't want to give him a condition because
Be
I think he's
afraid
a
of me. Just kidding.
I think he's a little he's probably pretty level-headed and like calculating. That's like how he's gotten here kind of thing. So I think that he's gonna do it. He's gonna say like, okay, fine, contact your family and we will set something up. But when he does this, he just looks at you and he just says like, if we're going to do this, he just goes like, there are great expectations for this city, and what we need to do, he says like, this isn't about your family and your medals. This is about, and he looks over at Arulo, who's like walking and like looking at plans, trying to be casual about it, just kind of like, you know, and he looks over and he goes like, this is for all of us. And he's going to try and shift your balance towards progress.
Okay. I'll take that.
Yep. Y'all take that? Okay. So shift your balance and to +1 progress, -1 tradition.
Okay.
And yeah, they're gonna work this out, and you guys are actually working something out. I like this.
Did he eat the cookies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
he's
mean, I
definitely-
also offer him, please have
at this
Disgusting
point,
cookie.
at
This
this
gift.
point, he's definitely.
I
eating
don't
a
want to
cookie,
eat them. Why don't you just take them?
And he's just like he's like fine, and he takes a bite. And he's just like,
No.
Are they supposed to be soft, like slimy, like? And he goes, wonderful.
Oh, no.
Arulo, you are trying to get information from these maps.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you roll for it. I think that yeah, you're there while they're talking. There's a perfect
Yeah.
distraction.
Yeah, makes
You
sense.
see, here's the thing though. Do you attempt to like swoop, like yoink one of them?
Nope. I'm
Okay.
not gonna steal nothing. That's not
Okay.
nice. Stealing causes animosity in the world.
Okay. You know what? I think what you're doing though to like get a good look, like you're gonna have to move one of the maps, but like you finally see one of the maps that's like mapping out the tunnels.
Oh, okay.
But you need to move another one of the maps to see that other thing. So you're going to be pushing your luck in a risky situation.
Take the map for me. Take the whole thing. Give me
my memory with these maps is very good. Once upon a time, my life depended on it. So
roll with passion.
With passion. Let me find my 6-sided dice here. Got it.
Okay.
Let me see. Sorry, give me 1 sec. Go back to my character.
I'm not giving you a sec.
Perfect. My passion is
denied.
My passion is +1.
Okay.
Let's see what we get, folks.
I love that
it's painful to watch Troy roll.
It is disorienting. 4.
Okay, what are you doing one die at a time? God. Off of a Mountain Dew bottle.
So I got
Mountain Dew and Reese's on the side of his bed.
He's rolling it in the right place.
He did get a 10. All right. So it says here, on a hit, you do it, but it costs you to scrape by. The GM tells you what it costs you. And it says here, on a 10 plus, your boldness pays off despite the cost. The GM tells you what other lucky opportunity falls in your lap.
Fuck yeah.
So you look and you see that here's the Cliffy, because we're not gonna you move the map. And what happens is you see this network of tunnels coming from the sea caves that are being mined out by the you see the name of the company doing it, Broken Earth Construction Company. You see that like it is owned by Don Moshan. You also see that there's plans to further develop the tunnels. And one of the tunnels, it specifically says right on it, Avatar call out secret tunnel. Pointing right to it, secret tunnel. And it goes right into the crystal caverns beneath the Earthen Fire Refinery.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I love that. That is some dope ass information.
That's good shit.
So as we are leaving the ground.
Oh man, I can't believe this plan fucking works. Maybe I don't have to bust into this place.
I know. I was like ready to do a fight. I was like, someone's gonna fuck up, and it was like, nah, I got like everything, yeah. Well, you get to do your own different kind of heist now if you want. I would imagine as we exit the castle after coming to some sort of agreement, I tell Che that I said, hey, you did really well back there, and we found some valuable information. We make a great team.
Oh. I'm already halfway through my next plan about breaking into this manor back at the Cabbage restaurant with my other 2 crew. I'm like, so Rue, polar bear dogs, right? Polar bears like meat, dogs like meat, probably like fish or something, and maybe we'll cover it in peanut butter or something for good measure. Do you think he'll like that? He'll probably like that. I don't know. But you can go up there, be all nice about him, lure him away for snacky times, and then I hold up my glass. What is this?
Glass?
A cup?
Glass. What is glass?
Sand.
Earth.
Yep.
Is that what you're
do
going
a
for?
window. You wanted to come here and make a name for yourself about a new kind of bending.
Ooh.
See what you got.
I could totally do that. And then he tries to do it and just shatters it, like shatters.
We're gonna need some work on technique, but this is still a viable entry point. Okay.
You're gonna pay for that cup, right?
Oh, of course.
I was gonna put it back together.
Long-term plan.
Another round.
When Rainey, I know we're working on getting ready to cut the.
You guys come back in to
here.
give us information, and
We can keep going for a bit.
Surrounded by shattered glass. I'm like, okay, this is the one.
He's just like
not muscle, finesse.
Trash.
Delicate touch. It shatters again.
He just like force chokes it to pieces.
I'm like,
That's a great scene. Just like I struggling to.
He's all cut from like shattered glass flying out.
That was your brilliant plan. Learn how to bend glass in like 2 days.
it was worth a shot. No, I can also cut glass. I have a glass cutter. I can also pick locks. There's other ways, but it'd be really fucking cool to be able to open a window and fucking close a window.
I can do this. I can do it. Hold on.
Maybe we should. You're literally
I'm trying to become
bleeding.
the greatest cat burglar in the world. And you are not helping.
The greatest cat burglar. You mean mink burglar?
Cat burglar.
We're trying
Um,
to save the minks.
Yes. Yeah, that's gonna be her like vigilante name. Oh, the mink struck again.
The midnight mink.
The midnight. Oh, the midnight mink.
Yes.
Oh man. All right. Well, I think we have an idea for what's going to happen next time. You guys are going to have to figure out what's going on in the refinery. Maybe do a little counter.
Are you possibly suggesting, Rainey, by any stretch of the imagination, that we will go down a secret tunnel through a mountain?
You know.
Under a city.
Yeah.
It's got close enough syllables. We could jam
Yeah.
to it.
We could
There's a lot of
definitely-
stuff in the refinery that came from a mountain.
So I think that. Oh my goodness, do we have a plan?
Steven Soderbergh presents Ares 11.
Nice.
Wow, I love
That's really
it.
good.
I'm like,
Honor poet in
recreate the
chat.
map.
That's
Get
really
out
good.
like marker crayons and stuff. I'm like,
That's really great. Well, that is absolutely where we'll start the next session. Is like you guys in like a drawing board room, just like with
Map.
a bunch of goofy stuff.
Eyes
Eyes
still
just covered
breaking
in-
glasses.
just covered in
Still
glass
breaking
cuts.
This is the background.
Every
I can do this.
well,
Well,
actually,
it's like in Ocean's 11. Isn't there one thing where like somebody's like really stressed to like do this very fine detailed job? Was it Matt Damon's job or something like that? Like he was practicing through the whole movie for something,
Just one
like-
thing. You have one.
and it's the one job you have, man.
It'll be great if we can somehow work in just one moment of glass bending for great effect before the end of this game.
well,
It will 100% be a push your luck, and I will absolutely let it happen if he gets that,
So
10
good
plus.
glass bending. I'm like,
Luckily-
listen, wait for it. Glass bending. Like not a bender, but I did invent it.
So
Trademarks.
one thing that I'm very excited for is that in order for us to draw this map, someone will have to talk to Urulo in a quiet place. I'm gonna move somebody over to care, baby.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try.
Actually, you
Do
know
you want
what?
to go talk to Arula? No, he always makes me feel things and introspect. You go talk to Arula. No,
I want to think about other people's points of view.
To be fair as well though, in the show, I believe the only people who could legitimately make a recreation of a map were earthbenders who could make little miniature versions of a map by earthbending it up. So he might be onto something there.
Ah,
I mean, normal people just use like charcoal and parchment, but that's okay too.
But are any of you artistic is the question. I don't think
No.
anybody
I'm
is.
good at everything.
We cut over to Aries map and it's just like crayons on the back of a placemat from the
Right.
Cabbage Delicacies restaurant.
This is the door. Why do your doors look like windows? Fuck you guys.
We're still on the window thing, glass bending, and everyone's like, "Oh, here we go again."
This is
Oh, I
a
love it.
stained glass door.
All right. Well, I promise we will get to a combat next session because obviously.
I'll be
Uh,
damned if we do.
Yeah.
Even
No,
if we
Troy-
don't get to use my brilliant glass bending plan, look, I've come up with a distraction that keeps I occupied. Still brilliant, still serving my purposes. Every time I just starts going off on his like fucking xenophobia, I just like throw him a glass and I'm like, keep working on it. Cute, buddy.
That's great. Wow.
All right. Great. I think that we'll end this on not only you guys having the information about the Badgermole Mafia's plans to create a backdoor secret tunnel into the Earth and Fire refinery, but we get a little cutscene right before the credits roll on the episode of away from the party. We see a bunch of these like thugs and mobsters, and they are down in these smuggling tunnels
With their badger hats.
with their badger
I
hats,
just love the
and
badger hats.
they have badger hats, and you actually see like a pair of badger moles who are continuing to excavate tunnels underneath the Cranefish Town itself. And you see that basically they've unpacked a bunch of crates of various like rare animals who are all doing some form of like labor to work these tunnels or
A bunch of minks turning a wheel.
Running on the running wheel.
it's like
It's a bunch of minks
Rube
running.
Goldberg. It's like a Rube Goldberg contraption of
There's
minks.
probably a more efficient way to power this machine than with a bunch of rare, small, exotic animals.
This is why they need us.
The Don is actually just very entertained by it, and he's like, "Hoo-hoo." No.
God.
But what we see is eventually a Badgermole breaking through a section of wall, and like a chain of people just yelling like, "We did it! We did it! We did it! We did it!" all the way down. And then we see somebody go like, "Boss, we finally got it. We found it." And we see like the boss turn his face, and like in a glow of green glowing light from the crystal caverns underneath the Earth and Fire refinery, he just looks over and he just goes like, "Oh, we're laughing all the way to the bank, boys." And yeah, that's where we're gonna end it.
Get the
Right.
minks.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's what the minks are for. They're really
Ready the
good at-
minks.
Yeah.
Smuggle crystals into
Ready?
me.
Ready the minks. Oh man.
I'm waiting to see how this plays into their scheme. It's like, boss, you could haul out a lot more crystals on donkeys. It's gonna be tiny little fucking mink sleds.
Adorable. It's awful and adorable.
Oh my god.
Oh God. That was awesome.
That's great.
Dying.
All right.
A thousand minks pulling one sled of crystal.
I just see like one mink actually with a giant crystal tied to his back.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He's like,
Doot, 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 doot.
Well, maybe they're like ants and can carry up to like 10 times their weight.
You know what? Oh, they're
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's what it is. They're
Carpenter
like
minks or
superhuman
whatever.
strength.
Carpenter minks.
Carpenter minks.
Minks, yeah.
They got like
Yeah.
6 legs.
Oh, they do. They have 6 legs and they move like ants and they carry
Oh my
huge
gosh.
pieces of
6 legs and antennas. Like,
well, and like they have mink mandibles. Mink mandibles
no,
have, like,
don't ruin their cute
they,
faces.
they perfectly cut out gems. They can like eat right around it and just pull it out and there they go. And like you just have an assembly line of minks.
This is the greatest gem miners ever.
Carpenter
Oh.
minks.
I love that. Carpenter minks. Holy shit,
Even-
guys. We're so
Guys,
good at this.
even when we do dumb
We're
shit,
so good
we
at
get
this.
there. We get there.
We get there.
Oh, that's
All
good because we
right.
only
Not
do
very
dumb
fast,
shit.
but we get
Good
there.
job.
Yeah, we get there quickly, but we got there.
Yeah, it only took us 2 hours and 40 minutes to get
I'm
the
sorry.
concept we
To
started
figure out how the
with.
minks were part
Yeah,
of
like this
Carpenter
is
minks. That's
the
how
premise from the beginning. We got there, guys.
it's
love
all
it.
coming together.
Oh,
Well,
God.
next sesh will be the heist and or whatever you guys are pulling off about this. So
Oh yeah.
Thank you,
yeah.
everyone, for bearing with us through this. Like, I feel like I should apologize, but I'm not gonna, because you came here for the dick jokes. That's half of our
I
You
advertising.
got 'em
provided.
this
You're
week.
welcome.
you got them this week.
We've been lacking, so so thank you guys so much for joining us for session 1 of Avatar Legends and joining in with whatever chaos this crew is. Check out all of our social medias. Everything is at DMs After Dark: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, every podcast app worth their salt. You can also email us at dmsafterdark@gmail.com. Reach out to us there if you have more dick jokes. We will read and rate them.
Rate them,
Putting this
oh,
in
Is that
over
what
now.
the thing we're doing?
Sure,
Oh,
why
goodness.
not?
Oh,
Rate the
no.
dick jokes.
Open the can of worms.
It's fine. We only had like
This is the
know.
sort of interactivity everybody
You've
wants.
opened the can of dicks. Now
Okay.
our email is
No.
just going to be flooded.
well, I'm sorry for that, intern. And have a good night, everyone. We'll see you next time for more of this.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh, that too.
Take care. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Send us
Bye.
$10. We'll drink those lattes.
Stay cabbage.
Oh, God.
Oh
Cabbage.
God, no. We're gonna end with that. Yeah.